Show. This is Boston's home for sports. WBC-FM at HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub. A Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
A rough night at the office for the Celtics, who saw Minnesota score 16 straight points in the fourth quarter and beat them in their own building 102-92 yesterday evening. Jaylen Brown scored a game-high 29 points in the loss.
Learning from these games and being better going forward, but give credit to Minnesota. They're much smaller, they played faster, they got more physical, and they made shots more than they put pressure on us too. So not a characteristic game of us, but we learned from them and move on.
Bones Highland scored 23 points off the bench for the visitors, and they won despite the fact that their best player, Anthony Edwards, sat out with a sore knee. The Celtics' three-game homestand continues Wednesday night against Oklahoma City. At the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament, the Sweet 16 is set, and the defending champ is out. Iowa got a three-pointer from Alvaro Forgueres with 4.5 seconds left. They beat top-seeded Florida 73-72. UConn is through after a 73-57 win over UCLA. Number one Arizona was also a winner, 78-66 over Utah State. But the game of the day was out west, where St. John's got a layup from Dilling Darling at the buzzer to beat Kansas 67-65. Providence has hired South Florida's Brian Hodgson as their next head coach. Syracuse has hired Siena's Jerry McNamara. Bruins are off until tomorrow night when they play Toronto at TD Garden. And the Red Sox beat Pittsburgh yesterday 6-3 in Florida. Sonny Gray allowed 2 runs in 6 innings in his final spring start. Sox play their final game of the year at Jet Blue Park today against Minnesota. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180, a no-risk all-rewards path to real weight loss. If you're not happy with your results in the first week, get 100% of your money back. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
That was his nickname for him. Hey, Lisa Lickum Low.
That's your point.
No, let's not. Welcome in to the show, Toucher and Hardy. As Fred is down south, Michael Holly joins us here this morning, along with John Wallach and me, Hardy. And Nicholas is back. Nicholas!
Hey,
welcome
hey!
back, Nicholas!
All right.
Nicholas has been on paternity leave for the last 3 weeks. Welcomed a new Gemelli into the family, so good to have Nick back, but great to have you here, Michael.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats to Gemelli.
We
Man, it's better being here, though.
It's
It's easier being here.
We had some contact with him, and we spent a lot of time thinking about, what it would be like to be home with a 2.5-year-old. How old is Noah? 2.5? 3.
He's 3 now.
A 3-year-old and a newborn. And I mean, my daughter was 4 when my son was born, and I spent maybe 12 hours in the hospital when he was born, and it's like, I got to get home and take care of our daughter. And then after that, I was home for 4 days, maybe. Luckily born like early in the week. I'm like, well, I'll take the rest of this week, but then I'm back. Gotta go back.
You're like,
Right.
yeah, I gotta get, they need me.
Yeah.
They need me. I gotta get back. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah.
Guys, I was crazy enough. We were crazy enough. We had 3 kids, 4 and under. Okay? 3 kids, 4 and under. So my daughter was born. Her oldest brother was 4. The next one was 2. And obviously the baby. And 3. I think at one point I said they're all they're never going to be potty trained.
Yeah.
Because I not to generalize, but boys are difficult. Boys are difficult to potty train. At one point I was like, why am I doing? You're a grown man. I can't be changing this.
How long did you change diapers for? It must have been like 8 years. How long did you
It got to the point I was like, man, are you going to go to kindergarten? Are you going to be able to do this?
God.
So I feel like once they are able to talk and go to the bathroom, we're ahead of the game. If they can do that, I'm good. Right?
How much time did you take off? How much time did I take off? Well, this is a point of contention, and now this is a problem. Still, like years later, my oldest is 17. So years later, it's like, you know what? Because they were all the kids were born on Saturday. They were all born on Saturday, like a little quirk. Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. So there's Saturday. No,
you
did not.
No, I didn't go back on Monday.
I
didn't go back on Monday. But maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in there.
Wow. That's impressive.
No, it's not. It's not. You know, I think we're a more evolved society now, Hardy. And if paternity leave had been available to me, like it is to some now, I think I would have taken it.
I would.
But you wouldn't have?
No.
No. Yeah, I would have.
I remember saying to Felger after my
oh God, yeah, that's exactly the guy.
Yeah, I'm just going to say
that's exactly the guy.
Start the sentence there. All right,
that's exactly the guy to talk to about paternity leave. Yes,
in a rare social conversation, because people always ask what's Felger like, what's Fred like, and I said everyone's pretty much exactly the same. Except for Zolak, who sounds like a 10-year-old on the air. In real life, he's an 8-year-old. He's actually on his best behavior. He's
on the radio.
Yeah. Real life, he's actually
worse. Yes.
Yeah, more Zo. But I said everybody's, how they're like. So, personal conversations with Felger over the years, you can count them on one hand. There's just not a lot. But, we were discussing kids. And I said something about my daughter who... It was after my son was born. He's probably asking about my son. I said, well, she's kind of fun now because she's like 4 and, you can kind of talk to her a little bit and she's, kind of fun to hang out with. And he said, yeah, I really don't have any use for them until they're about 7. And I thought he was,
he was joking. But
he was kind of playing Felger. But it's like the older they get, you realize, oh, he's more right than he was wrong. And some people have that ability to really get into the mind of a toddler and enjoy that time and
They're
get into
people.
get into that headspace. My daughter would just yell at me for playing games wrong. She wanted to play princesses all the time. I mean, like sit down with Belle and sit down with Snow White and all this stuff. She's like, no, she doesn't do that. I'm like, hey, I don't want to be doing this anyway. And if I'm doing it wrong, I just won't do it.
Tell me what she does.
Right.
Tell me what she does.
Yeah, and of course
play the princess game.
You don't say that, but I would feel both, frustrated and annoyed. I'm like, well,
did you have to do that?
Yeah.
Play princesses?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of it. But all of it. Because, 2 boys and a girl.
Did you have the same problem?
No.
You knew all the moves.
No, I at about a third one. Like remember that commercial a while ago? It was years ago. First kid, you're overprotective, and you got the hand sanitizer and everything, and they're just precious. And by the second kid or third kid, something falls on the ground. Okay, you blow it up. Here you go. Put that back in. You're fine. You'll give your kid to anybody.
Yeah,
hey, hold it.
We were a little too cavalier with our son, and there was actually something wrong with him. Just nothing serious, but it was something with the way he was processing food, and we thought the stool was just well, that's kind of a weird color. They didn't really think much about it. It was blood. And, found out after he was like a month old and the doctor's like, oh, no. He's got an allergy here to, something. Like, all right, well, we thought the first one lived. We were at
this one will too.
We were calling the doctor way too much with her. And like, whoops, sorry, boy. Didn't realize you were suffering some type of malady here. But he's all right. He's fine.
He's good.
He's a little twitchy.
You know how to do this.
Otherwise, he's all right. It's good to see you. We were discussing before the show that you're actually an instructor. Are you a professor?
Professor.
You're a professor.
Whoa.
Professor. Yes. Call me Professor Holly.
Whoa.
No,
I'm not doing that.
No, and I want you to do it.
What do you have to do to become a professor?
Just work in the business, Hardy, for
Just hang around.
for 30-plus years. Thank you very much.
You just hang around for a while. You don't have to go to school for
34 consecutive. Since
Does it say professor like somewhere on a website or
Professor
something?
Professor Holly, yes.
Wow.
You have cards made up?
But I'm not on it like that. But this is what I will say. This is what I say to all the students. Because when I first started teaching, I was like, that's weird. Call me Michael. But you can't say that to 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds because they're like, hey, what's up, Mike? I'm like, first of all, no, I didn't say that. Nobody calls me Mike. Don't call me Mike. Hey, Michael, let's do this. And like, okay, it's just too comfortable. So I said, okay, when I'm in the classroom, call me Professor Holly. When we work in the media business together, you're going to have a career in sports media. Then I'll be Michael then. So you don't call me when we're doing radio together or whatever. I'll be Michael and you'll be John or Mary, whatever it is.
So I'm curious about this because my wife is doing some kind of a degree right now online. She's doing something for work. This is not something that she just wants to engage in lifelong learning. There's a means to this end. And I know a couple of people like that who just, continue to grow and continue to expand their minds in the academic world beyond just doing the crossword puzzle every day. I have a neighbor who is constantly taking online classes. I'm like, what are you doing that for? When are you taking a supply chain, master? It's got nothing to do with what you do. He's like, oh, well, it's interesting. I'm like, so is The Sopranos the third time through. I find it very interesting. Why
are you doing this thing?
Why do you have to do that? But the level of stress that this has caused her, because she doesn't do anything, half-assed. She, takes it seriously and does all the assignments and stuff like that. And all of the work that she does, I think about this afterward, this instructor who has this class that he's doing online, I assume he's doing a couple more, he's got to go through all this stuff. So how much work is it for you as Professor Holly to take in all these kids you're teaching a journalism class.
Right.
They're writing, they're doing projects. You have
to grade them.
Yeah. This is a lot of work.
I've got some great teaching assistants.
Oh, no.
Okay.
They are incredible.
No.
They are incredible. Wait a minute. They get paid, John. Don't give me that groan. This is not like a hookup for Professor Holly.
It is a hookup.
Everybody is getting paid. Everybody is
Doesn't matter.
Including
it's
you.
the effort involved. I worked with a guy, and I don't want to tell too many tales out of school.
Tell them all.
I'm just gonna say,
and most of them
I
are
used
true,
to work.
John.
I used to work with this guy, and he'd come in, and you'd think, okay, I'm prepared to do my 10 to 2 shift. He had a guy whose name I believe was Dave Corona, correct?
Yeah, that's right. What do we call him?
Dave would come up with something that he called it the playbook.
Yeah, right.
And Dave would show up with a packet of material which summarized all the previous day's news, notes, and games. He handed it to Michael, and Michael would walk in at 9:45 and go to work.
12, are you listening?
It was amazing.
Want a packet?
I'm listening, and I'm still blown away. I taught for a year, and I didn't have a teaching assistant.
Unbelievable.
Okay, you got 12. I'm sorry you didn't work the system.
Maybe if I'd gotten my crap together, I'd still be teaching, and I could have had the Michael Holly path.
I'm sorry you didn't know how to do this.
The endowment of Greenwood Community College is not quite where Michael is teaching.
I taught at Northeastern University. Thank you very much.
Shout out.
I taught audio production for a year.
Go ahead.
Huskies. Absolutely.
And they were what a gift to have you, have Adam 12 teaching them games.
So you got your TAs reading.
Even back then, Michael had walk-around guys. It was really something.
He's wrong. Now that's probably, as I said, it's probably 85% true. There's a guy, Dave was my first assistant. We used to call him Larry David.
Yep.
Very funny guy, very smart guy. Went to University of Wisconsin, wanted to get into the business. He was like, hey, can I shadow you and all this stuff? We did have the playbook, and this started before. This is before I was married, and my wife came in and was like, what are you spending your money on? Because we used to go to Zoftig's in Brookline every morning, every day, Monday through Friday, we go there for breakfast. I'm like, all right, let's talk.
It's a good spot.
Hey,
Coolidge
it's a great
Corner,
spot,
yeah.
great spot. So we talk and say, hey, look, I think this is a hot story. This is a hot story. I paid for it, by the way.
I'm not saying you didn't.
I paid him.
Yeah.
And so we would go over the top stories of the day. I said, I'm hot on this, not so much this one, but hey, do some research on that just in case it comes up. And so we talk it through. We talk the show through. So that is preparation, John. I was prepared walking in. It's not like he gave me information and I was just like, okay, I'll read page 3. We'd walk through it together.
I see. Okay.
I helped him curate this document, Hardy. I helped him.
Packet of material. Sitting right next to him for the entire show that he can refer to if need be.
Listen, I'm glad. I'm sorry you guys didn't take the craft as seriously as I did.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's why you got paid.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
All it took was buying a guy breakfast every morning.
Every morning. So
tell me what to say.
So real talk, though. I get married in 2007. My wife is much better with money than I am. She said, wait. So what is this? It's just my preparation for the show. You go to Zoptics every day? Every day for breakfast? Okay. Then she looked at my gym. She's like, oh, how much you... So what is this, because it was, you remember the sports club? It was a sports club LA. I think they changed the name now, whatever.
LA Fitness now?
Or something, right downtown.
Yeah.
Right down by the Common.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
It was an ungodly amount of money.
Yeah.
So what happens here? Oh, I'm just going to the gym. That's it? I said, but when I walk in, they iron. If I give them my shirt, they'll iron my shirt. I can sit there naked in the locker room, and they'll bring me fruit, and I could just sit there, and they'll bring me the paper. It's a very luxurious. If I need a facial, I can get a facial. No. We're not doing this. So Zoptics out, gym out, money kind of pull back a little bit on these luxury items.
There was a buddy of mine who used to work out of Equinox in the Back Bay.
Yeah,
and I was going to see him on Saturday mornings. I'd screwed my back up really bad, and it was a doctor who told me, he's like, do you could have surgery? He goes, well, but you could also just, keep doing, this, and he goes, and go see a trainer. Because, now the, one half of your body is all screwed up. I said, I got a guy who actually, a buddy of mine actually does that. He said, fine, you come see me for an hour every Saturday morning and, we'll fix you right up. Walking into that Equinox for the first time, I walked in, I said, oh, this place smells expensive. Oh, there's scents in the air. It's like walking into a boutique hotel. I'm like, I don't belong here. And it's like, no. We'll just get you a guest pass. You can come in, and get you in here like 8-10 times before they start to say anything.
That's how you get reeled in, yeah.
It's great, everything.
My God. Yeah. But I could, that must have been tough to give up, that gym.
Yeah.
If it was a place like that.
I had to pick between her and the gym.
And you chose wisely?
Yeah. I don't miss it much.
Yeah.
Much. It was difficult.
All right. So, Michael, not teaching today.
Not teaching today.
You have class tomorrow.
I have class tomorrow. So you're going to be a great lesson, John. Feel free to come in and monitor class.
Sure.
No, you can't, but you can't do it.
Yeah, can I audit your class?
Yeah, you can. Come on through.
Well, it goes until 10:45, so I'm sure that you'll still be teaching by the time we're finished here.
I'm always teaching, John. I'm always teaching.
You're going to run the full schedule.
John, I'm always teaching even when I'm not in the classroom.
I understand.
Now, do you
don't forget about office hours, too. Like, don't.
All right, what are office hours for you?
Don't diminish what I'm doing here.
When are office hours? When are they? How often?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
So you're on campus.
You'll go to the office
every
today?
day.
I didn't say that.
Do you need to make an appointment for office hours?
I didn't say I went to the office every day.
You said it with a point of pride, I'm teaching every day.
You need Professor Holly.
Yeah.
You need Professor Holly. You just let a brother know, and I will send you a link, and we'll talk.
And
we'll
That's
talk.
the way to do it.
So that is the way to do it because the other way was I'd sit in the office, and these students would line up, and I would feel bad for them because somebody would come in first, and then they're not. It's not radio, right? They're not saying, "Hey, I got to hit this break."
Yeah.
I got to wrap this thing up. I said, this is what I'm thinking about for my career. I mean, do I really want to be a print journalist? Do I want to do broadcast? I kind of like podcasting, maybe marketing. Could you help me out? And they're just kind of trying to sort things out, and I'm there to help them. And so you think you could do it in 10 minutes. Sometimes it's 20 or 25, and there are 3 or 4 people waiting for their turn. So I thought the better way, the more efficient way to do it is, hey, when do you want to do it exactly? All right, 11. Now somebody else has 11, but I can get you at 11:30, and so I can just kind of balance it out every day.
Do you ever have guest lecturers? Because
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a guy I know who also is teaching a similar class at a nearby school, and he will often have guest lecturers.
Let me hear that guy again.
Such as me or.
I'm pretty depressed.
Okay.
I've done it. He's done it. But the way Gary teaches class is he will introduce you
and then step out of the way.
And step out of the way, and then we'll do our spiel for whatever it was. For me, it was about 35 minutes. For Hardy, it was probably a little bit longer. And then the class is over. Gary's done.
All right, kids. Let me introduce your instructor for today,
Mrs. Lloyd.
Yeah.
Hey, does anyone have any questions? I know John just did a great job. Anyone have any questions? That's another 15 or 20 minutes, and then the class is done. And Gary's cheated everyone out of another day.
Then see you later. No, I'll tell you, but in all seriousness, it is great. These students are unbelievable. They're really smart. I always say to them, you all are smarter than I am. I have the advantage of experience. So you'll make me smarter. I will help you with my experience and tell you how this thing will go and what to expect, and we'll both be better off for it. So it's really a great experience.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's get into what happened last night. We've got lots of basketball to talk about over the last 4 days. I'm actually at the point now where I appreciate the break from watching basketball. I want to, and I feel compelled to, but it's after 4 days of it. I'm like, I've spent a lot of time watching basketball. I need to do something else. So now we'll just talk about the basketball that we watched and the Celtics. And Jay King's going to join us a little bit later. Jim McBride, don't forget about the Bruins. We'll speak with him later this morning. Here on Toucher and Hardy. Hold on.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Night.
All right, it is Toucher and Hardy, and time to find out what happened last night. It's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. I was asked by Dr. Matthew Lopresti, actually Jeff over there, he says, hey, can you do a social media post for us? He asked me this on Friday. I'm like, sure. Because I've been endorsing them for years. I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to come up with something. Maybe that'll be a good task for Nicholas. Come up with an idea. I need to do a social media post. It should probably begin with me not wearing a hat.
Yeah, I was just going to say showing the hair is probably tantamount.
But it's just get up in the morning, and that's what we've talked about this endlessly.
Yeah.
Now, John, you shower in the morning, but you still put a hat on.
Yeah.
I always shower the night before. That's why I put the hat on in the morning.
Always put the hat on.
All right.
Well. It's just force a habit by now.
Maybe just rock a hat.
Always.
Maybe that's the video, the day I decide to actually shower in the morning and not wear a hat.
Shower in the morning, no hat. Now, showering at night, does that thing tick?
Does what
Does
tick?
it, the shower at night, then you sleep, then there's night, do you sweat? I mean, it's kind of like night sweat, night perspiration, night
sweating
something.
at night?
You do something. Something happens.
It's fine. I'm fine.
You're not completely fresh. What time do you take
Do
the
you
shower?
always need to be completely fresh whenever you leave the house? Do you ever take a shower?
Okay, that's different.
Do you ever did you shower this morning?
I sure did.
Okay.
At 4 something.
All right. And you will go about your day. Is there a chance you will be going out and doing something tonight?
Yes.
Are you going to shower
It's
before
called-
you go out?
Yes, NBC Sports Boston.
You're going to shower before you go do
I
TV
am, because
tonight?
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work out after this program.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah,
And I got no use for
I'm going to work out. I'm going to work out after this show.
Not at the gym you want, but at a different gym.
Yeah, you'd be over at Planet Fitness.
No fruit while you're naked in the
I
room
know.
there.
I know. You know, this kind of gym you don't walk around naked.
Planet Fitness, by the way, I went to the grand opening one that was over in Easton. Like, those places are nice.
They are nice.
I'm like, if I were interested in, what are they called? The weights. I've seen these people
So
that
what are
they
they
lift the
called?
weights up and down.
In a
and I
gym,
were into that.
yeah.
I'd go there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know pickleball, though, so
Too bad.
Yeah, but otherwise, hell, I'd be there in a second. All right, John.
We want to see that beautiful head of hair tomorrow, Hardy. Come on, that's your post.
I don't know if it's
the
gonna be
post
tomorrow.
is, hey, look at this. Look at this beautiful head of hair I have.
We'll see. All right, John.
Yes.
What happened last night?
Well, let's start with the Celtics. They opened up a 3-game homestand last night at TD Garden against Minnesota. Celtics had Jason Tatum available. Timberwolves were without their top gun, Anthony Edwards. He's out for the next week or two with what's been called right knee patellofemoral pain syndrome.
That sounds bad.
Does anyone want to guess what that actually is?
What? Say it again, John.
Right knee patellofemoral pain syndrome.
His kneecap hurts.
Basically, it's
Good
called
one.
runner's knee. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
Runner's knee. But the Timberwolves decided to list the big words to make it seem more impressive, when in reality, just about everyone who runs comes down with this occasion.
Where do you know where they are in the standings in the West?
5th or 6th?
Are they locked in? It seems like
No.
they're not locked in.
I don't think
today?
they're locked
Okay.
in.
I was
think
going to say, it sounds like they're trying to get them ready for the playoffs.
He's only out a week or two. He's going to be
Yeah.
back before the end of the season. So anyway, Celtics and Minnesota, this game on national TV, but Celtics started very well in this one.
Pull up 3 in transition. Jaylen Brown.
This is unreal to see the Celtics come out to a nice start like this.
9 straight for the Celtics. They lead 11-2.
So they were up 11-2 to start the game. But as we all know, good starts in the NBA really don't matter. Sometimes when you're missing a key player like Minnesota was, others tend to step up, and that's what happened to the Timberwolves last night.
We're tied again. 6 seconds to go in the half. Highland moving to his left. Hauser slides his feet. Highland steps back into a 3. Hits it at the buzzer.
Wow, that was nice. Points over at Reggie.
Bones Highland scored 23 points in that game. That shot over Sam Hauser gave Minnesota a 3-point lead at the half. And I don't know if you guys watched this game. Bones Highland was talking an enormous amount of trash
Yeah.
during the game. After he made that shot, he did the little wave, the Isaac from Love Boat, but he was waving at Reggie Miller as he ran by him to the locker room. Bones Highland's lucky to have a job. He's been kicked off like 3 or 4 different teams. No one can stand him. And all of a sudden, he's making shots and talking trash to everybody.
But there are so many. Think about the amount of guys like that in the league. John, at all your years watching basketball, there are lots of Bones Highland types
There are.
where you look at him and go, yeah, he's a pretty good player. Why has he been on so many teams? Then you watch him over like an 8 to 10 game span. Like, okay, I understand. Okay, I get it.
I was going to say watch him for 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Bones Highland, I remember when I think he was a rookie with the Nuggets, right? Didn't he start with the Nuggets?
Yes,
Fun
he did.
player.
Yep.
He Bones Highland, Karis LeVert. Going back in the day, Lance Stevenson, they're kind of like
Lance Stevenson's a category on
but Lance Stevenson's all by himself. But
yeah,
there are guys like Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
Like these guys, they got some ability, and you go, you know what? He's pretty good. Then the next game, you go, oh damn.
Yeah.
Why is this guy on the team?
Consistency.
Yes.
True. No, it's a good point. Guys like Karis LeVert, who is a human on-off switch. Like, he'll score 50. I think he scored 50 in one game against the Celtics.
It crushed the Celtics, right?
But like 2 weeks later, he scored 2.
Right.
That's what Karis LeVert is. And I think he's in Cleveland now. Is he Cleveland? I've lost track. But like
lose track too.
Like Bones
Right.
Highland, he bounces around a ton. But anyway, Bones Highland had himself a game in this one. He scored 23 points. That shot over Sam Hauser gave Minnesota a 47-44 lead at the half. However, just like they started the first half, the Celtics started the second half well. They scored 11 straight points.
Both teams shooting exactly 32% from 3. Peyton Pritchard trying to improve that, and he does, knocking down the open shot in the corner. Every time the Celtics have gotten an open shot, the guy lumbering into the play late is Randall.
Slow to get to the play.
They were never able to pull away, though. So the Celtics scored 11 straight. Minnesota hung in there, and they scored 16 straight points in the fourth quarter to take the lead back.
Comes out of the pack with it. DiVincenzo. Long lead for Anderson. Finds the trailer. Diving in. Nas Reed scoring the foul.
Oh, nice stuff, Dan. By Minnesota, that was good.
All right, so Grandy and Max calling games.
Max
It's only
is
Grandy
enjoying
and
it.
Max can. Well, Max, it depends on the game.
That was good.
He might be talking about the piece of cake he had in front of him. We're never really sure. You know, Max tends to bring food to the broadcast location.
Well, you need sustenance.
I was going to say, you got to do it. Get long game, John.
I understand.
Got to get through this.
I understand. Last game I did with him, he brought homemade honey hot chicken. We ate it during the game. It was fantastic.
During the game?
During the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like commercial breaks. Sometimes we were done when it's time to come back. Sometimes we weren't.
On the bone?
No, we had it cut. He had it sliced.
Oh, that's what I think that's perfectly acceptable.
No, but
on the bone gets messy.
No, on the bone gets messy. But the point is, Max shows up with Tupperware. It's the best. Working with Max is fantastic because you're never really quite sure. Max, one time, and I thought this was going to be the end of both of us. He brought like soup with him up to the broadcast location. He had soup with him. I'm like, this has disaster written all over it. Didn't spill a drop. And I looked at him. He goes, "That's experience."
So
yep. That's right.
He's he's spooning the soup during the broadcast.
Who eats soup other than Tony Maz, who will order a bowl of soup? You can play golf with Maz. July, it's 96 with humidity. What's the soup today? When you get done, I'm like, what? There's no one ordering soup. They didn't make any soup today. And they're like, oh no, they do. They have a minestrone. Yeah, I'll have a minestrone. I'm gonna have to give Max a hard time about that. That's old man.
This was a long time ago. He hasn't done it in a while.
And then if you had soup, why do you have to have it in you can just put it in a Yeti or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Kind of drink that thing.
I don't know.
Who needs a spoon?
But if you're trying to fool yourself into thinking it's a meal, then no, you have to have a spoon. You gotta have a bowl.
No, but it's great. Max will show up. He'll offer me food. John, I have all of this. Would you like some? Absolutely. I'd love some. And so we eat. It's a nice outing.
Eat and watch basketball.
Eat and watch basketball. Talk about it occasionally. It's great.
So I appreciate that context. He was talking about food. Ooh, that was good.
Yeah,
not
that's
talking
exactly
about the
right.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
So Minnesota scored 6 straight points in the fourth quarter to take the lead back, and that was it. Celtics missed 12 straight shots during that run. They never recovered. They lost 102-92. Jaylen Brown, 29 points. Jason Tatum, 16 in 31 minutes. It's Minnesota's first win in Boston since March 6th of 2005. Kevin Garnett was starting for the Timberwolves the last time Minnesota won here, and that was 18 straight losses. That was an 18.
That's crazy.
18 straight losses Minnesota had here before last night. So the Celtics play Oklahoma City at TD Garden on Wednesday night, and OKC just got back their All-Star Jalen Williams, too.
Bones Highland said after the game, because they told him afterward that it'd been 18 games in 2005, and he's like, I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
How can that be?
That's true.
So
That 18 straight losses.
Yes.
And
at the Garden.
So is that the last time was Wally Zerbiak a Celtic or a Timberwolf in 2005? I don't remember.
It might have been. He might have been a Celtic.
He might have been a Celtic.
They didn't make that. When did they draft Jeff Green? I'm trying to think.
Oh, but Jeff Green was drafted in 2007.
He was a T-Wolf in 2005. He
yes.
the Celtics.
Oh, he's a
T-Wolf.
Okay.
I
he was
like
a T-Wolf.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a big Jeff Green
Jeff
guy.
Green's still playing, isn't he? Is Jeff Green still in the league?
I can't be.
I think he is.
No, I think he might have just retired last year.
No, isn't he on the Rockets?
Is he still on the Rockets? He
Is
was.
I think Jeff Green might be in the league.
Houston Rockets.
How about that?
Wow. And Karis LeVert is with the Pistons now. Obviously having a huge impact.
Enjoy the Karis LeVert experience in the playoffs. That'll be a lot of fun.
Great.
Quick quiz for you, 12. And that might be the answer. How many teams has Karis LeVert played for?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
How many teams are there in the league?
I'm gonna go 8.
I don't know the answer.
You think that's a good
guess?
guess?
But I think that's a great guess. I think that's about right.
Yeah.
I think it's
Let's
about
see.
8 teams.
All right. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, it's not that bad.
No?
Brooklyn, Indiana, Cleveland, Atlanta, Detroit.
Only 5?
Yeah, only 5.
It's only 5?
Yeah. LeVert.
I'm disappointed.
LeVert, I wouldn't play him.
But
much
Jeff
during the
Green has
playoffs.
played for multiple teams a couple of times.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Jeff Green's so old he played for the Seattle Supersonics.
That's right. The original song.
Wow.
The OGs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wasn't Green part of that draft day deal for Ray Allen? Didn't they draft Green and trade him to Seattle for Ray Allen? I'm trying to remember if that's right. But anyway, the point being is that Karis LeVert's been around for a while. Bones Highland's been around for a while. Jeff Green's been around for a while.
Got a ring with the Nuggets.
And the Celtics lost last night to a team without their best player.
Yeah, without their best player, who is a great player.
Yes.
And I thought, John, I don't know if you looked at it this way. I thought, Minnesota, no Anthony Edwards. This is a win. And then it'll be an interesting game on Wednesday against the Thunder. But I just never crossed my mind that they would lose to Minnesota.
But this happens, and I think it happens in the NBA almost exclusively when you take a team, let's say it's the Celtics, and you don't have Tatum because he's still hurt, and you don't have Brown one night, and you go into Milwaukee to take on the Bucks who have Giannis back, and this should be a blowout. Just lay the points and take Milwaukee, and the Celtics come out of there with a win. It happens. It happens, and again, I think exclusively in the NBA, but the team plays in a way that they're not accustomed to playing, and they end up, stealing a win before you even know what happens. Now, those runs, I think that happened in the second half and the fourth quarter make this a little bit anomalous, but otherwise, you see this happen a lot where a team will just go out and steamroll a team they have no business beating.
It's a little different in that Minnesota played the Celtics a lot different than a lot of other teams will do. They expended a lot of energy on defense. They roughed them up at midcourt. They really bothered them starting in the second quarter.
We're watching a lot of tournament
Celtics,
games.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's go.
Celtics committed 9 turnovers in the second quarter alone because Minnesota was very physical with the ball handlers as they came up the floor. You don't see that normally in NBA games. Usually right about now, they're coasting until they get to the playoffs. That was not the case last night.
Well, it's a good experience for them because that's exactly what they're going to see in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
So, hey, how do you handle it? And it's interesting because the Celtics are, I don't know if they're number 1 in the league, but I know they're certainly in the top 5 with –
Hello.
Hi there.
Oh, okay.
I think they're certainly in the top 5 with taking care of the ball.
All right.
They don't turn it over that much.
We mentioned the tournament. Let's talk about the tournament games. A couple of really good ones yesterday. So we'll get to that and everything that happened over the weekend. After the headlines here with Wallach, Toucher, and Hardy with Michael Holly in this morning on the Sports Hub. Hold on.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Minnesota snapped the Celtics winning streak at 4 last night. Care of a 102-92 win. Celtics allowed 16 straight points in the fourth quarter of this one. They play Oklahoma City at the Garden on Wednesday night. At the NCAA Tournament, 2 number 1 seeds played yesterday. Only one was able to make it into the Sweet 16. Defending champion Florida, gone. They lost to Iowa 73-72. Arizona took care of business, beating Utah State 78-66. In college coaching news, Providence has hired South Florida's Brian Hodgson. Syracuse has hired Siena's Jerry McNamara. Bruins off until tomorrow night when they play Toronto at TD Garden. And the Red Sox beat Pittsburgh 6-3 down in Florida yesterday. Sonny Gray, 6 solid innings in his last spring start. Johan Oviedo will start today. Sox play their final game at JetBlue Park against Minnesota. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Storm face Bill Self's Kansas Jayhawks, and according to CBS, it was only the third time ever that they've had a matchup in the tournament where both head coaches had won 2 or more national championships. So a show-stopping matchup there. St. John's looked like they had this one in the bag. They led by 13 with 6.5 minutes to go, but Darren Peterson's 2 free throws with 13 seconds left tied it at 65. St. John's had the ball last with just under 4 seconds left.
This is going to be Darling. He's got to go. Darling puts it up. St. John's is going to the Sweet 16.
Junior point guard Dylan Darling, who had no points the entire game, made that contested layup. St. John's beat Kansas 67-65. It's the first time since 1999 St. John's has reached the Sweet 16. They'll play top-seeded Duke in the Sweet 16 on Friday.
Easy on the contested, John, because there was help that should have stayed there. Now, it was a great shot. And it was almost like a hook shot layup when he got in at the end. I could not believe he got through the lane pretty much unaccosted, and then the defense was okay.
There
but
were
it was,
2 guys that were technically there.
But then
no. I'm watching it again right now. I watched it live. I'm watching it again. The second guy comes in so late, and then the guy that should have stayed to help cleared out. I think he was because the guy hadn't shot.
I was just gonna say
had a bucket all night. He was expecting him to dish it out for I don't know, like a 12-footer.
Well, the guys was there a guy in the corner? I'm trying to remember now. Maybe that's where the help went to. I don't remember.
And that's probably it. The guy hadn't scored all game. It's like, oh, this guy's not going to take this. He's going to take this. He's going to dish this off. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to give up an easy basket. Oh, wait a minute. He's putting it up, and he scored. Okay, look, personal feelings aside. Okay.
About who? Wait a second. About who?
I kind of felt the same way you did. I know exactly where you're going. Yep.
Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
All right. If you have,
I don't understand.
Let's say if you got a program, you want to resuscitate, you want to revive a program, and you got one guy who can revive the program. Tell me you're not going to Rick Pitino. This is what he specializes in, Hardy.
Yeah.
He is now a college program because in the pros he's not meant for the pros, but these are the things that Pitino does everywhere he goes. He'll take, starting with BU, his entire career, BU, Providence, Louisville, Kentucky, whatever. Everywhere he goes, that program goes from, oh, I don't know about them, to, damn, they're pretty good.
You left out Iona. Iona goes to the NCAA tournament, and now this. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, watching him in Boston, there are a lot of things that he did wrong. But one of the things that he would do, and this is back in the day, Hardy, when before they got smart and said, wait a minute, why are we giving these press seats away for free to members of the media? Get them out of here. We're going to make money off of these courtside seats. So I used to be able to sit. I pretty much was in the Celtics huddle when I covered the Celtics for the Boston Globe.
Let's take the radio broadcast and stick them in the corner.
So
instead of courtside where they were before.
I really was in their huddle. I could hear their plays.
Was that during Pitino's time when the radio broadcast moved up into the loge?
No, they still had great seats.
Oh, is that right? I thought that's when they got moved.
No. This was later. This was later.
Okay.
So if you wanted to hear the plays for the Celtics, you sit at one end of the floor. And if I wanted to hear the visiting team, I'd go to the other end of the floor. But Pitino would go into the huddle and would say, all right, guys, he was a wizard on the board. Hey, do this, and you'll get a layup. You'll be open. You'll get a layup. And it would happen. You'd go on the like, damn.
Well, that wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem.
But that's right.
The players.
That was his genius. The other stuff.
The other stuff is A, how he handled the media, B, how he traded. He traded Chauncey Billups 2 months into his rookie year. But I'll never forget, because I was courtside too, he would scream at his players while the game was going on. No, you have to go over there, set that screen.
Everything.
All right. He would literally try and micromanage every single play. Players hated him.
His favorite, he would say this all the time, to grown men, use the screen, son.
Oh, that doesn't
Screen. Use the screen, son. Like, what? What?
Well, that's your son.
I'm like, who are you talking to? I make more money than you.
Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Well, that obviously did not work.
But he is made for college basketball.
And then after the game last night, camera goes right to Pitino, and he just walked off as if like, yeah, I knew. Yeah, I knew. I knew this.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you what he's doing now. He is wearing those kids out over blowing the lead in the last 6 minutes. So that's kind of how he operates. Hey, it's great to win, but then he's going to go, what are we doing?
What did they interviewed that kid, Dylan Darling, right after the game. And I unfortunately, I was looking, I don't have it here, but I can tell you Darling's first thing they asked him, so what did coach say to you in the huddle before the game-winning play? Darling looked at the camera and said, he was screaming at me, just like always. He always screams at me.
That's
the Pitino experience.
Right. Well, he'll stay there for how much longer now?
I don't know. I think he's getting old enough now.
This might be it. This might be. I mean, he's a New Yorker anyway. I mean,
this is like six or seven programs. I think. What is he? 70 now?
He's got to be. He's older than 70.
70, 75. I don't know if he can handle another rebuild at this point.
No, he could handle another rebuild, but where's there? Like, he's not going to go. He's not going to coach in the pros again. And this is a good program. I mean, he knows how to work the system. I don't know where St. John's is with NIL, but I mean, this is classic Pitino. He's got St. John's, Madison Square Garden for big games. I mean, the New York media loves him. I mean, he's home. This is probably the last stop for him.
So that was a 5-4. Don't even call it an upset, but a true upset also took place yesterday, John.
Yes, second round of the NCAA tournament as we continue on. Top-seeded Florida had a chance to repeat for the first time since UConn did, and it came down to the final second. The defending national champions trailed the 9-seed Iowa for most of the night. They took the lead with 6:35 to go, but the Hawkeyes stayed close, and they had the ball down by 2 with under 10 seconds left.
For a spot in the Sweet 16, Koch calls the break. Sturts sprints to the ball, gets fed up the right sideline, into the front court. Bounce Fulgaris. He pops a jumper. Got it! It's a three for the lead! Florida makes the 4 down 1, 3.9. And Iowa wants timeout.
6'10" junior forward Alvaro Fulgaris made a corner 3 with 4.5 seconds left. Florida had the ball last, didn't get a shot off at the buzzer. Iowa scores an upset 73-72 win over the champs in the second round. They're through to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999. And I was thinking about this at the end of the game. When you're picking your bracket, Iowa's a team you only give like one win to, and
that's it.
That's
right.
it. You know, they'll lose. They might lose 8-9, but Iowa's not a team you pick to go far ever. And here they are in the Sweet 16.
Fulgaris 1 for 3 in his 3-pointers until he got that ball for that shot, and it was pure. I couldn't believe he made that shot in that moment. I mean, it was fantastic finish. And as you said, Florida really didn't even get a shot off at the end. I mean, they had a chance. They had a little bit of time, but
kid dribbled into the lane, got swallowed up, tried to pass the ball as time ran out. So he didn't get a shot off.
I still can't stand Florida. I've never liked Florida.
Why?
Noah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And
I get it.
And
everybody asked for it before.
Everybody understands.
Joking Noah. Yep.
I bet Beaton could find it. After they won, and he went on this rant in the post game about like, this is how we do. This is how Gainesville does it. We're gonna party all day, all night. I know you don't know what I'm talking about right now, but Gainesville knows, and we're gonna do it. Like every other douchebag college kid who thinks he invented a good time. Like, oh, are you going to drink? Are you going to take drugs? Are you going to engage in non-marital sex with multiple partners? Tell me more how Gainesville does it, Mr. Noah.
Well,
the rest of America is so envious of you and your invention of partying after in a celebratory manner, you jagoff.
But he might be right. he might be, maybe Gainesville does all that at another level. But Noah was on it. Was that Horford on that team too? It was Horford,
Noah, yeah.
And the other guy was Corey Brewer.
I hate Noah.
Corey Brewer.
They had a really good team.
And then as if to.
But Horford was annoying then too. He wasn't the classy Al Horford back then. He used to do the whole Gator thing every time.
And then
he did that in the pros too.
And his rookie year, was the year
with the Hawks.
Well, yeah, his rookie year with the Hawks.
Celtics.
That when they played the Celtics in the first round, that was the 08 team that won it all. Hawks pushed it to a 7th game. Horford was insufferable.
Yeah, he was
game 6.
he was annoying. He was a trash talker.
It was annoying watching Noah actually play okay in the NBA too. That stupid 2-handed shot he had. Ugh.
Yeah,
I hate him. All right. Something else that
who else hates him? Just really quickly, I'll tell you. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett.
Not a fan.
Good. That makes me like KG even more.
So,
Good.
His famous KG Noah story. I'll just say it quickly.
Okay.
And then as I get to the line, just go to break. At one point, because Noah looked up to KG.
Yeah.
Early in his career, before he knew what
Yeah.
KG was all about. So KG made a baseline shot. And Noah, running down the court, said, "Hey, Kevin, that was a really good shot." And Kevin Garnett said, "Get off."
Yeah.
More Toucher and Hardy on the.
56 win over Utah State. Connecticut beat UCLA late last night, 73-57. And Dylan Darling made a layup at the buzzer to hand St. John's a 67-65 win over Kansas. Bruins off until tomorrow night when they play Toronto at TD Garden. Boston College did make the field of 16 for the NCAA men's hockey tournament yesterday, but there's still no word on whether or not the Bruins' top draft pick from last year, James Higgins, plans to turn pro. And the Red Sox beat Pittsburgh 6-3 down in Florida. They have 2 exhibition games left. Their final home preseason game is today against Minnesota. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Massachusetts Energy Marketers Association, providing safe and reliable energy services for your home and business. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Your life had to be a party that whole year. I want to hear about that. What were the parties like?
Well, let me tell you the truth. I mean, I think that it's not really appropriate to talk about it on TV, but, one day if you want to, we can grab a beer and I'll tell you all about it.
That was Joe Quinn. I can't even remember how to pronounce his first name. Joe Quinn Noah? Joe Quinn? Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah.
Yeah, well,
son of Yannick.
He was describing the party atmosphere in Gainesville because, again, the rest of us just couldn't comprehend. What all the shenanigans they were getting up to.
Urban Meyer feeded into that a little bit.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, Urban. You know what? I'm telling you.
One of Ohio State's prouder accomplishments.
No, Florida. That's Florida.
Hiring that guy.
Yeah, Florida gets to happen.
Okay. If that's how you see it.
But I told you, Hardy, when you start looking at some of the Florida coaches and players, he probably was right. There's some things
if he was referring to murder, then
about.
Yes, okay. If they're going around shooting people in the face and murdering friends, then yes, that is a little different than the way the rest of the world parties.
Didn't former Patriot Brandon Spikes, didn't he go to Florida?
I think that's right.
Yeah, remember what happened? He was here and there was like some.
It was something on the side of the road, was it?
No. Well, there was that. Then there was like a sex tape or whatever.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You don't remember this? Oh, you don't?
No, the sex tape. Why don't I remember this? I don't.
Because it was probably the most boring sex tape.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
that's why I missed
Show prep, okay.
If I had only had someone to put it down on paper for me before I got here.
This is where you needed an assistant.
If I only had the playbook, I would have remembered.
If you had the playbook, you would have remembered this.
My fault.
My fault. About it. Was it mostly foreplay? Was it a lot of conversation?
It's just like, what are we doing here? Like, come on, where's the action?
Wasn't Brandon?
Where's scene 2?
Do you remember the I think it was Brandon Spikes, the media day photo that was not the one they used in the program or anyone else, but you know how they'll do the media day shots and there'll be someone standing behind the actual photographer kind of doing like the social media post. Hey, it's media day. Everyone getting their photos taken. And I'm pretty sure it was Brandon Spikes who had his. And he's got the jersey on. He's got the pants on. He didn't have the full undergarments on. He hadn't worn, like whatever it was, the jock or the compression shorts underneath. And one of the more impressive things I've ever seen in my life. If Zoe's probably listening, he'll remember because he talked about it for 2 weeks afterward. Holy crap, did you see that thing? Holy crap.
That might have been when Crash went in to the locker room and reported back, if I remember correctly. Yeah. We had Crash in the early days of the station.
Show off.
Patriots frowned on that.
Show off. Come on.
Who is this guy in here? He doesn't belong here.
So there was something else going on over the weekend. Now, I stumbled onto the Xfinity multi-screen on Saturday. And maybe this has been available for a while, and I just hadn't bothered with it because how often do you really want to be watching simultaneously, 3 or 4 different events? If I'm, the Patriots are on, I'm watching them. The late game's fine, but there's generally one game that I want to watch. But with the tournament games, you got to see what's going on. So, flipped on that multi-screen and got the Duke-Siena game going. Got Michigan State going on another screen. Had a third NCAA game. I said, oh, flag football. That's right. This is happening this weekend. And I turned on this flag football game, and I had it in the lower right of the 4-box screen.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was toggling back and forth to get the audio from the 3 basketball games, a couple of times I went over to get the audio of the flag football. Allow me to be the first to say, I don't get it. I don't get the fascination.
With flag football?
The flag football.
You don't get it?
I don't. Well, I understand how the game is played.
What do you mean you don't get it?
I understand the reason why they would want to get Tom Brady out on the field throwing passes to, was it Chris Paul or Logan Paul?
It was Logan, I think.
Was that? I don't know if they were on the same team. I saw him out there. You get Rob Gronkowski out there. Yes, I get that aspect of it. But to watch it as an actual sporting event, lost on me. Don't understand the appeal. Don't see why it's a thing. Don't understand why people think that this is going to be anything other than a one-off couple of times a year, if that.
It's just guys running everywhere. There's no hitting. There's no defense. There's nothing. I don't understand any of this.
But you don't appreciate the speed and strength of these. You didn't appreciate Tom Brady to Jalen Hurts for a touchdown.
No.
No.
No, I thought it was, like Hardy, an incredibly boring event. I didn't understand the appeal of it. And, okay, you got Tom Brady throwing a pass, and it was a dime to Diggs in the back of the end zone. Great. Fantastic. Something he did in his sleep for about 2.5 decades.
Kind of on air, right?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of. You don't have a defensive lineman, breathing down your throat.
There's a guy who went by him. All right, great. Yeah. Oh, he didn't pull his flag. All right, fantastic. You know what? No spin moves. No spin moves. That's a foul. You can't. That's a flag on that. I'm sorry. As a guy who watched flag football, and Fred Toucher would sit here and tell you this for days. As a guy who's been to a flag football game for 9-year-olds, there wasn't much difference.
Well,
I don't understand it.
Maybe it's this. Because I not that I'm into it, but I could get into it if you have all these stars out there, and instead of watching your stars just kind of suited up, helmet, face mask, shoulder pads, all the stuff where it's them, but you don't get a chance to see them. Flag football allows you to see more.
Can I tell you something?
Your favorite stars.
Can I tell you something? I thought that was going to be the case. But when you see Burrow out of pads, he didn't look like Burrow or Josh Allen or whoever it was. Was it Josh Allen playing in this thing?
No, I think it was Burrow.
Burrow. Okay. I'm like, oh, it doesn't. Ironically, it was easier for me to spot Rob Gronkowski in pads than it was to spot him out there playing flag football with his hat on backwards. I don't understand the what's wrong with my vision. Now, Tom Brady looks like Tom Brady. We've seen him throw a million passes, and you can tell just from his windup. For me, a little bit, it's like watching a golfer. I can watch a lot of these guys in silhouette and tell you who's swinging the club because their swing looks, very distinctive to me. And I think for Tom Brady, you could watch just an outline of him and know that it's Brady. But for these other guys, I'm like, I don't know. I thought I would have that immediate recognition. Oh, cool, that's so-and-so. No, without the pads or maybe without the jersey or the number or something, it was almost all entirely lost on me. And for everyone who thought that Brady looked so good, which he does as a 47-year-old, 48, whatever he is now, throwing the ball, yes, in a flag football atmosphere, he looks great. You know who also looks pretty good throwing a football? Scott Zolak. You put him in pads and you actually make him, run around and do things. Yeah. It's a totally different story. I mean, Tom Brady's going to be able to throw the football like that probably for the rest of his life.
Right.
He's going to be able to do that. But to think that would somehow in any way equate to an actual football game is lunacy.
It is lunacy, but don't you think that Tom Brady believes he could do it?
Yes,
Like
sure.
there's, for all the stuff that Brady.
And you know what, Michael? Just very quickly, he probably could and play for a handful of teams and be better than what they've got right now. But it wouldn't be good enough, after 17 games and for a team that really needed a true NFL quarterback in 2026 to do something other than look good throwing the ball.
Like, you guys have been around enough athletes where they come to the end, 10 years, 15-year career, and you ask them about retirement, and they say, yeah, I know it's time. And could you do it now? No, I'd probably get hurt, or I could feel my body starting to break down a little bit. I don't get the sense that Tom Brady is convinced that he can't play football anymore. I don't think when he retired, he did not. We know the first time he retired, he didn't want to retire.
Right.
Then he came back and he announced a retirement. He didn't want to do it. He's still, all the stuff he's doing, part owner of the Raiders, Fox, he still wants to play football.
Yeah.
He just, I think he probably did not say to himself, hey, when I get to 45, that'll be enough, for 46. I think he really thought he could play football until he was 50.
And maybe he could, like, to a certain extent. And also, of course he wants to play. When you're the best to ever do something, why would you ever want to stop doing it? Even if, 75%, 50%, hell, 30% of Tom Brady is still going to be better than what a lot of players can give you right now. But this insistence of, what I saw online and people commenting, it's like, man, that guy could play. So because maybe he could, but don't be fooled by what you're watching during a flag football game to think in any way that might equate to what happens in an NFL game. Yeah. They're two different things going on. They're just, one's got very little to do with the other.
Who could he play for? It would have to be a team with the best offensive line in the history.
I was going to say, it can't be the Raiders.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You can't touch them. You would have to just have, just imagine max protection with the best offensive lineman.
We're leaving that tight end in the block. Give me a fullback. Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it, and then there's. Do you know how the teams were broken down in this thing, John? The founders and the Team USA, like what?
Well, the Team USA was a bunch of those hardo flag football players who, think that they should be representing the country in flag football in the Olympics. That's Team USA. You had the Wildcats, that was Burrow's team. You had the Founders, that was Brady's team, and it was a 3-team round robin. So every team played the other two teams once.
All right.
And the teams with the two best records played for the championship.
So Brady had something to say about the matchup between these different squads.
Look, we're not like going back and forth about who should be on it. I mean, there's going to be a selection process, and may the best people play. And whoever gives the USA team, like in any team sport, that's the best in team sports. It's a meritocracy.
So he's talking about who is going to represent the U.S. at the Olympics when flag football is going to be played.
Who's ever the best gives the team the best opportunity to win, that's who should be out there. So there's a long way from that happening. It's a couple years. But I think it's just good for the NFL players to kind of see, oh, God, this is kind of what this game's all about. But you can't tell me there's, if we're looking at great athletes, the NFL players are great athletes. I mean, we were learning how to literally take flags off 2 days ago. And, those guys did a great job. So I don't want to take anything away from them. But there is certainly a long way to go before selection process happens.
What was the final score?
Too much to too little.
Yeah.
They got blown out by that flag football team. The Founders had Brady, Hurts, Gronk, Stephon Diggs, and other guys. The Wildcats, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow. It says Saquon. I didn't see him. And, a couple other guys. And then you have the U.S. men's national team. Darnell Doucette is the guy who is about 5 feet 6 inches tall, who is the quarterback of the Team USA. Name. And he was the guy getting up in the NFL athletes' faces saying, this is welcome to flag football. You can't play this game. He's giving away 7 inches to these guys he's trash talking to. And this was his Super Bowl. He was jumping around Bones Highland like. He was jumping around. He was trash talking like there was no tomorrow. It's flag football. It's March. And you are out of your mind crazy.
Well, hey, like they're coming into his territory. They're trying to take away his job.
Right.
His job. What does that guy do for a living? It's not playing flag football.
Flag football.
Yeah, I'm sure it pays a ton.
You're trying to take away my turf.
And I think Doucette is realizing now that, whoever's going to end up representing Team USA, there's a certain amount of politics involved. So all the things he's been saying over the years, he's softening a bit.
I'm honored and grateful to be here. Fanatics, NFL, giving me this opportunity. Me, my teammates, the flag football world, they gave us a great opportunity to showcase our sport and why it is an Olympic sport. I made some remarks back in 2023. It was totally misconstrued.
No, it wasn't.
Nobody heard
No, it wasn't. You said screw the NFL. We should represent the country.
Yeah.
Throw all those great athletes in the dumpster. You want the 5'6" guy leading you to gold.
Well,
Darnell Doucette.
Yeah, you got to learn how to take those flags off.
I made some comments, the media.
Ignore all that.
Those
It was
guys.
taken out of context.
Right. The lamestream media misquoted me back in 2023.
Of course they did.
Well, of course, we all remember that, Darnell. All right, Jim McBride going to join us next. We'll find out what's going on.
We got Jay King next.
Oh, excuse me, Jay
Basketball.
King. All right, sorry. McBride will be in in an hour from now. Jay King instead will be on with us next. Hold on.
Some of them, they just, like I said, I think that unit in the second quarter and the fourth quarter was the difference in the game, their ability to turn us over in both of those quarters.
It's Toucher and Hardy without Fred, but Michael Holley is here. And now Jay King is here, who covers the Celtics for The Athletic. Jay, always good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. What's going on?
It's beautiful to hear from you guys this morning.
It's
Wow.
God.
Wow.
All
what
right.
a start. It's not even quite 7:30 yet. Beautiful.
What's the problem, Jay?
Beautiful.
Is it early? Is it too early?
Never too early.
Okay.
Not for you guys.
This guy joined us at like 5 a.m. on the West Coast at one point.
That was it's still wild you guys asked me to do that.
Jay's a real one. As a producer, Jay's a real one for that. I'll always have a spot in my heart for Jay King because he said yes to a 5 a.m. hit.
You're like, wait a minute, you know what time it is? You want me to do
Where
what?
were you?
I think I was in San Francisco. San Francisco, yeah. That was extremely early.
But you had been there, and maybe your body hadn't adjusted to West Coast time, so you probably were awake anyway, or had a poor night of sleep. So we did you a favor, right?
Though you're right, I hadn't adjusted, so I wasn't able to get back to sleep afterwards.
Oh, good.
Okay. All right.
You feel bad yet, 12?
No, actually, I feel better because I'm now remembering it's Ryan that asked him to.
Okay.
So I
Not his fault.
All right. Well, listen, everyone should read Jay in The Athletic. And Jay, there's a piece that you wrote about expansion in the NBA that I want to get to, which I think is fascinating. It's really good. But first, explain to John and maybe Michael a little bit why I was not surprised at the Celtics losing to the Timberwolves last night. I've seen this too many times, Jay. I've seen a team with their almost full complement of players and being taken down by a team that's not supposed to win, especially on their home court. The Celtics did it to the Bucks earlier this year. It seems something that's almost unique to the NBA, where a team that has no business winning on a certain night due to location and personnel and roster, those upsets end up happening, I think, more so than any other sport.
Yeah, it's weird. And, of course, obviously, without Anthony Edwards, you think the Timberwolves don't really have enough scoring. And then all of a sudden, it's like Bones Highland is out there with the freedom and just knocking down shots. And Naz Reid, who's been Sixth Man of the Year, obviously, he has a bigger role, and he's killing the Celtics. I think you're right. The Celtics, they just didn't have the right mentality. Their offense was just they weren't physical enough. They weren't tough enough. They weren't owning their space. And I mean, 9 turnovers in the second quarter. That says everything you need to know. They averaged 12 per game. They're the best at taking care of the ball in the entire league. And all of a sudden Minnesota turns it up, and they just kind of crumbled in that second quarter. Did it again in the fourth. So yeah, just an ugly game for the Celtics. Not how they usually play, like Jaylen Brown said, but not Celtic basketball either.
All right, Jay, but let's look at a 2-game snapshot here. They get a win in Memphis, and that was not a great game against the Grizzlies. Similar thing. You look at their roster and all these 10-day contract guys giving the Celtics the business. So 2-game snapshot. Beat Memphis, lose to Minnesota. Do you take anything away from this, or do you just say, it's just 2 games in March and nothing to worry about here?
No, the one thing is I think Jason Tatum is still working to get a rhythm, and the Celtics are still working to get a rhythm with him. Now, obviously, considering he's coming back from a torn Achilles, like, he's looked great. He's had moments where he's finished through contact, where he's, blown by his defender, where he's created tons of space for his jump shot. But then you look at game by game, he's played 8 games so far. He hasn't shot 50% from the field once. And so his rhythm just isn't there. Last night was his fourth scoreless half total over the last 7 seasons. So that's dating back to the beginning of his 3rd season in the NBA. And it's not the same for him yet. And I think they're dealing with that. He's dealing with that. And it's just going to be an adjustment period while that happens. And there are other ways. Like, he's been incredible rebounding. Their defense with him on the floor has been amazing. I think, I've really been blown away by how well he's moving laterally, how his endurance is, how he's moving since coming back. But his offense just hasn't totally come back yet, and that's going to take time. And I think they're dealing with all of that. And this is a team that knew how to play, knew exactly what it was, and now you're introducing a new variable that will lift your ceiling substantially, but still a new variable that takes some time for everybody to get used to.
The hallmark of Joe Mazzulla's team this year has been effort every single night, when most NBA teams at this point in the season are just trying to get to the end and make sure they're healthy for when the real stuff starts. So to see what happened to them, and Michael's right, suddenly the game in Memphis was almost as big a disaster as last night. I'm wondering, are the veterans kind of easing off the accelerator a little bit because they see the finish line, or is it just 2 bad games?
I think it's just 2 bad games. I mean, they were on a 4-game winning streak before losing against Minnesota. To me, like, they should be ramping things up. Right now, they're a half game up on the New York Knicks for second place in the Eastern Conference, and you should want to keep that seed. And not only that, but there's still a lot to accomplish with Jason Tatum back and figuring things out, even figuring out the rotation, who plays among the wings behind him. So I think they should be ramping things up. I think they usually take the attitude that they need to ramp things up for the playoffs. We've heard Jaylen Brown say after the Oklahoma City loss that he wasn't in good enough shape and he has another level to get to, and he's going to get to that by the time the games really matter. And so I think they're going to take things seriously the rest of the way. I think the Minnesota game especially was a one-off that they just didn't have it and didn't bring it, and they'll have to play better moving forward.
All right, Jay King is with us. Jay, you recently wrote in The Athletic about, as we hear about the expansion process taking place in the NBA, teams presumably set to be added in Las Vegas, in Seattle. You are against this notion for, I'll let you describe it in detail, but I can sum it up in 2 words. You are against it because of bad basketball, which is what I think that's what it amounts to. Is that fair to sum up like that?
100%. Look around the league right now. Look at all the teams actively trying to lose. Look at, the Washington Wizards. They let Bam Adebayo score 83 points. Bam Adebayo. Salute to Bam Adebayo. I'm not going to sit here and complain about what the Heat did, even though it was pretty egregious down the stretch of that game, the fouling and the timeout called and all that stuff. Salute to Bam. But the guys he was playing, who?
You sound like Ime Udoka right now.
He was like, yeah, Bam, yeah, good job, Bam, and Wizards. And Wizards.
You see that a lot around the NBA, especially in March. It's like, who are these guys? The Grizzlies the other night, did you guys recognize any of those players?
No.
Probably not many. Maybe Ty Jerome because he was on an NCAA champion at Virginia. And obviously he did some very good things for Cleveland. But yeah, there's just too much bad basketball right now to me. If you bring in 2 more teams and keep the playoffs the same, that's 2 more teams that are going to be in the lottery, 2 more teams that are going to be angling for more ping pong balls. And I know Adam Silver has said he wants to address the tanking issue and change rules about that. Show it to me. Like, figure that out first before you add 2 more teams and dilute the talent level further and give 2 more teams lottery balls and have them playing bad basketball in March. Like, there's so much just outright losing basketball, especially at this time of the season. And I don't know how you can look at the bottom third of the league this year and think, you know what the solution is to this league? Like, just let's add 2 more teams. Let's make every team worse. And let's do this again with Seattle and Las Vegas involved. I just don't think this is the time for expansion. And I really, like, it's hard for me to watch some of these games and then think about the prospect of having like 2 more bad teams added to the mix. It would just be gross.
Unfortunately, it makes sense for both the owners and the players. The owners are going to make between $14 and $20 billion in expansion fees, which will be evenly distributed. And the players, there are more jobs. And that means the salary cap will probably go up. I mean, it makes sense for both sides, regardless of what the product looks like. A lot more money is going to get pumped into the product to begin with.
Yeah, I agree with that. And obviously, I think, at the end of the day, money talks and people follow the money, and I actually think like talent-wise, there's more talent to go around now than there probably has been in the past. Like a lot of these guys, they're gifted, they're skilled. There's just a higher level of production. Like basketball, I think it's in a good place otherwise, but they haven't figured out the tanking stuff. And until they do that, the expansion just makes no sense. And to me, they should think about like the future, like fill your pockets right now. At what cost? At what point do people look at the product every night and be like, you know what, this just isn't great?
Look at the NFL.
That's the problem. I just don't think they care. It's just too much money on the table for them to think about that. I agree with you. I agree with you, Jay.
And if I were in their shoes, that's how I would feel too.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And this is how it works with expansion. If you look at some of the expansion drafts over the years, I was telling somebody the other day, if you look at like through the years, there have been some former Celtics who have been drafted, going back when the Timberwolves started, when the Heat started, Charlotte Bobcats came in, and some of the names, A.C. Earl, Eddie Pinckney, J.R. Brimmer, Brandon Hunter. You get the idea. You know what kind of players we're talking about. I am glad to see this though, Jay. I am glad to see Seattle getting a team back. I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see basketball in Vegas. I think so. I think Vegas.
Seattle, I get. There's a lot of sentimentality there. Does Vegas really need another sport? Do they really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think, and Hardy can speak to this better than anybody. I think Vegas is mature enough as a market. He looked at me like, "What?" Well, we've got the Raiders. We've got the Knights.
Knights were first, so they're gonna have a leg up on everybody. The Raiders are gonna be fine because it's the NFL.
The A's,
the A's are already. I read over the weekend that there's rumor that they're going to be offering up season tickets to locals for $21 a game. $21 a game will get you a season ticket package. So things that they're already nervous about it. But I guess more to the overall point, Jay, is it coaching? There seems like there should be enough talent to field, 30 good teams right now. There should be enough in terms of players to where you could have competitive basketball every night without having it turn into a clown show. So is it coaching, or is sometimes the talent disparity is just too great? The best players are so much better than the average players that you get these lopsided bad contests on certain nights.
I think part of it is just the incentives. Like, you're incentivized to lose. And so we got Utah sitting their best players in the fourth quarter. And we got Utah, having Yusuf Nurkic get what seemed like elective nose surgery during the middle of a season. And then a report coming out that said
it's embarrassing.
He had a lot going on this summer. Like, he just
he was having permanent eyeliner tattooed. You had to miss some time.
Come on.
Yeah, like
trying to improve my look.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
This is your job, big fella. So I think the incentives are misplaced, and I do think solving tanking would go a long way. But also, like, as good as I do think the talent is, the best guys are still like just so much more polished. And you watch the Wizards, you watch the Grizzlies on certain nights, you watch the guys the Pacers are throwing out there. The IQ is just so much different. The level of experience is just so much different. And the veteran experienced teams are just pummeling these other guys.
Yeah.
Like the bottom of the league, the losing streaks those guys are on right now it's a joke. And it's really bad. And then, I mean, teams, the Wizards, like, they traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis, thinking, you know what, we're gonna let these guys sit as long as they need.
Right.
It wasn't even thought to play those guys.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And that's bad.
We want to take care of our players.
Right.
That's the stuff that shouldn't happen. And going back years, like Al Horford when he was in Oklahoma City, they just told him, don't play the second half of the season. Like, you're too good for this. Like, just don't play.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's gotten more egregious. More teams have leaned into it since then. And the product has suffered substantially, especially this time of year after teams have all leaned into that strategy and not playing guys. And it's become normalized. Like when the Wizards did that and said Trae Young and Anthony Davis are going to take their time and be patient with those guys. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, cool. Like, smart. Come back next year.
Right. Well,
instead of thinking that's so dumb.
Well,
and everyone suffers because of it.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why the playoffs are so good, because you get good games every night. Jay King, read him in The Athletic. Good stuff as always, Jay. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on, fellas.
All right.
See you, Jay.
There he goes. Jay King, we will be playing a game with Michael Holley here coming up at 8 o'clock.
Oh,
I'm
my
not sure
God,
entirely what this is going to be about. I think we're all going to be involved. But
I like games, Hardy.
Do you?
I like games. I do.
All right, good. You'll get to play one here in a
More
few minutes
games
on Toucher and Hardy. Stay with us.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Even though they were without Anthony Edwards, Minnesota scored 16 straight points in the fourth quarter, and they
Big show on the way. Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
I was just telling Michael that I'll be heading to Las Vegas on Thursday, where it is in the 90s. It's been in the 90s. There's snow falling and sticking on the ground outside of our studio windows right now.
Come on.
I can't.
We've had enough.
I can't deal with it. I don't care that I grew up with it. I don't care that I lived with it. I don't care if it never snows another flake. And we were talking about skiing. My daughter got into it for a bit and was, skiing with her friends on occasion. And I know some people here love it. I have a neighbor who's like, I was hoping to get one more ski day. I skied, a little bit growing up, but it's in Michigan, so it's crappy, that ain't good. And when I lived in New Mexico, that's when I started getting into it a little bit more because you're at the Southern Rockies there.
Sandia Peak, baby.
Sandia Peak and Santa Fe, and it's, it's nice, especially this time of year. 60 degrees at the base of the mountain, but you got a 13,000-foot peak, and you take a long, lift up, and it takes a long time to get down, and, it's all good. Overrated. Even now, you put me back in that same locale, in that same geography. You want to know why? Too much crap to contend with. Is you got to haul around and carry around. It takes too long to get there. And then, especially, I would say around here, now, I haven't done a lot in, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, where I'm sure it's better. But most of it is about waiting. You're waiting to get on the lift.
You're impatient.
Well, what are we doing? Oh, we're skiing.
It's experience.
No, you're not.
Be in the moment.
You're spending time waiting in lift lines or riding the lift up, and then the actual skiing or snowboarding part of it is just a small fraction of the time it takes to get there and to screw around and get all your stuff on and get all your stuff together and ride up there. It's a bad proportion of the actual
You're leaving out the
activity.
expense, that all the money you have to spend just to enjoy standing in line.
Holy crap, I can't believe what lift tickets are now.
It's so much
overrated.
I've got free pair of lift tickets in my pocket right now that Nicholas just dropped on me. I'm going to try to drop these before the end of the season. You got to know where to go, Hardy. You got to know to go to, like, Black Mountain in New Hampshire, where there's never a lift line and the conditions are great.
How long does it take to get to Black Mountain from here?
From here,
not that long.
Yeah, 2 hours, give or take.
No,
Far too long.
No,
Far too long.
You do it in a day. Yeah.
People get in the car and drive to Vermont to do this.
What do you want? You want like 15 minutes? You want something like 20 minutes away?
I can go to a golf course in 15 minutes. I can actually play golf for 2 hours if I'm just playing 9, or 3.5 or 4 if I'm playing 18, and then 15 minutes home. Now that to me is a good ratio of like time spent getting there, getting ready to do it, and actually doing it.
There's the solution. We split the difference. You, my friend, in the
not
wintertime,
snowshoeing.
You're cross-country skiing on the golf course. That's what you do. You go to your local when it's covered in snow.
I did that.
You bust out your cross-country skis. You get some
Oh my
cross-country skiing.
God, my father tried to con me into you'll go cross-country skiing. You'll appreciate this, Hardy. You know where he took me? Leo J. During the winter, it was the most annoying, boring, dumb thing I had done in my entire life.
Time spent, though. That's what it's about. It's about the experience.
With my father?
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Fenway, and did many times with my father. Don't need to go cross-country skiing.
Dad says I want to do both. I want cross-country skiing, and I want
got to find something to do in the winter.
Sit in the bleachers
We live in New England.
and yell at people.
Hardy found his pickleball, so I guess.
How much are those lift tickets, by the way? What do they go for?
Well, we get them. We
12?
get a bunch of them here.
What's the value?
But it depends on where you go. Like again, if you go to a smaller mountain like a Black Mountain or like a King Pine, which isn't too far away, that's another like 2-ish hour. What was I paying? Like I don't know. I think I was getting weekend lift tickets for like $59-$69 for the kids, and then. Cheaper during the week. Yeah, but of course, if you're going up to Vermont and you're going to Stowe,
they're like $150, $200, right?
You got to pick your spots and find out where to go. That has the short lift lines. That's a little bit more affordable. You can do it. You just got to put a little bit more work into it.
I don't want to shop around. I just want to go. I just want to go. I want to go do my thing and come home.
That's your cross country skiing, buddy. Strap them on, Johnny.
He took me down. The first hole at Leo J has a big downhill, and then it goes uphill. I know you've never played there because that's beneath you.
I played it once, and look, it's not been. Very few golf courses are beneath me, but I don't even know that you can call that a golf course.
So, yeah, there's hair on the green as you get there.
There's sand on them.
Right, sand on the green hair. But the point is, you go downhill, and now I'm in that valley, and all right, now it's time to go up that hill. I'm not getting up the hill. Go get me something. Go get me a golf cart. Go get me something. Get me out of here. I have no interest in cross-country skiing up a hill. Why would I do that?
It's stupid. Do you ever cross country?
I have not. I'm just
you think it's going to be fun. It's
funny.
like, ski. No, but the heel comes off the back of the ski because you're essentially walking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good luck not having a heart attack because it's like the most rigorous workout you can imagine. But if you try and go down I'm going to pick up some speed here. Careful, because you're essentially just got shoes paper clipped into these skis, and
nothing solid about it.
Do a lot of maneuvering.
Listen to the most ungrateful son you can have. Dad says, I'm going to take my son. We're going to have some father-son time.
Yeah,
out there. We're going to do some cross-country skiing. He'll enjoy it, but it's not even about that. It's about the time we spent together.
Until my father left me in that gully. He said, this is how you do it, because he was good at it. He goes up that hill like he's, I don't know, a jackrabbit. He goes up the hill. He said, so all you have to do, you have to put your legs at 45-degree angles and angle your way up the hill.
That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, come get me. I'm not moving. That's it.
Cold, too much hassle, too much gear, too much...
Terrible
fiddle-effing
activity.
around to get to these places, and once you get there, it costs a fortune. By the way, thank you to all of our mountain sponsors. They're doing fine. They don't need me up there. They don't want
our partners. Thank you to all our partners and sponsors. We really appreciate it.
It was good for them. I want them to do well, and I want them to have good snowfall and have good seasons. I just don't ever want to do it again. I don't care if I never do it again.
More for me.
I'm all done. I'm all done.
And you're all done. That's why you're headed to Vegas when it's 95 degrees.
Yeah, I can't wait. Hot. Ooh, is it hot? Love it.
Nobody's talking about skiing there. Nobody's talking about lift lines.
No. People would do that in Vegas, though, too. Oh, let's go to Mount Charleston. Let's drive 3 hours to Bryce Canyon, Utah. Okay. All right. You do it every once in a while. But so I do not miss it. Not one bit. All right, I don't know what the game is, but Adam 12 has something for us, Michael, that we will do next. And,
it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Hold on.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Minnesota Timberwolves came to TD Garden last night without top gun Anthony Edwards and still snapped the Celtics winning streak at 4, care of a 102-92 win. The Green allowed 16 straight points in the fourth quarter and never recovered despite 29 points on the night from Jaylen Brown.
Creating our own space, driving with more physicality. I feel like I had some good looks at the basket, but even being a little bit more patient. I don't feel like I was as patient as I needed to be this game for my team, and I feel like that ultimately cost us.
They'll play Oklahoma City at the Garden Wednesday night at the NCAA Tournament. 2 number 1 seeds played yesterday. Only one reached the Sweet 16. Defending champion Florida beaten by Iowa 73-72 thanks to a corner 3 from Alvaro Folgueras with 4.5 seconds left. Arizona on the other side took care of business. They beat Utah State 78-66, and Dylan Darling made a layup at the buzzer. That handed St. John's a 67-65 win over Kansas. In college coaching news, Providence has hired South Florida's Brian Hodgson. Syracuse has hired Siena's Jerry McNamara. Bruins off until tomorrow night when they host Toronto, and the Red Sox beat Pittsburgh yesterday 6-3 in Florida. They'll play their final game of the year at JetBlue Park today against Minnesota. Johan Oviedo will start, and the expected starting lineup will be in the field behind him. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Never ever replace your roof again. It's East Coast Metal Roofing's Spring into Savings event where Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the new roof that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Call 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Yeah, supposed to be gone real soon.
Tomorrow's going to be similar to what today was with a little bit of these snow showers, and then it'll be in the 50s by Wednesday and Thursday. So you'll have a nice end to your week to get you ready for...
Beaton was all excited because he got new wiper blades, and he was, seeing very clearly on the drive in. I said, oh, you're going to put them on yourself? No, I had someone else do it. This kid had he's like an able-bodied 20-whatever-year-old, didn't do his own wiper blades.
I don't think anyone ever taught me.
You know what?
No one has taught me a lot of things. It's called YouTube. You go on YouTube. And you
all the answers, all the world's answers are right there.
Seriously, you got a nice car, and you just put in what kind of car you have, and it's like how to change the wiper blades.
I didn't even know the wipers were different sizes. I would have bought in the same size for both wipers.
He works with a bunch of old guys too. He could ask one of us.
Yeah,
I got new wiper blades myself. I got to put on. We could have made it a little project.
Get off on stuff like that.
That's what I was going to say.
That would have made my day.
There'd be more you than me.
Yeah. All right, 12. What is this game that you have for us?
Well, I got a little intro for it. So you can't get anything at all at any of these restaurants. From the Midwest to the North Shore, they used to be open, now they're not anymore. So you can't get anything at all at any of these restaurants. So I figured, Hardy, you are a native of the Detroit Metro. You grew up in Troy, Michigan. You did. Michael Hawley, you hail from Akron, Ohio.
Correct.
A couple of Midwestern cities. And then John Wallach, of course, from the Tony town of Lexington, Massachusetts.
Yes.
I grew up there. And,
Great description.
Streets of Lexington.
Yeah, it's hard. Hey, you don't want to go to parts of Lexington at the wrong time.
Right.
Unfortunately, it was worse when I was a kid than it is now.
So what I did is I went over to Boston.com and I actually went over to the Akron Beacon Journal. I did a little research on the Detroit Metro
Times.
Work
in.
The Akron Plain Dealer? No, wrong
Cleveland.
town.
Cleveland Plain Dealer.
Shame on you for getting that wrong.
I put together a list of defunct restaurants, popular restaurants from really the era of time where you all would have been youngins going to these restaurants. And I'm going to let you know what a restaurant is and give you the name, and you got to let me know which place is it from. Is it from Detroit? Is it from Akron? Is it from the Boston area?
Oh,
okay.
That's a good one.
You can kind of crowdsource and figure it out.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with a restaurant called Doty's Dining Room. It's Doty's Dining Room.
That's
Does that
not. That's
sound
not
familiar
here.
to Anybody?
That's not
Detroit.
here.
That's Detroit.
That's got to be Detroit.
think
I
it's
definitely
Detroit?
know it's not here.
I don't remember any Doty's Dining Room. Oh my God.
Doty's. How do you spell Doty's?
D-O-D-I-E apostrophe S. Doty's Dining Room.
I don't think so, man, because unless Doty is Greek, and pretty much every restaurant around where I grew up, if it wasn't a McDonald's or a Burger Chef, was a Greek restaurant at Coney Island. Is Doty Greek? D-O-D-I. I'll take one for the team. I'll say maybe that's a Michigan restaurant, but I don't think so. I don't remember it.
It is not, unfortunately.
Cheese.
It is a restaurant in Market Street, Akron, Ohio. It's a diner in Highland Square, Michael.
And I'm embarrassed to tell you, I grew up about 5 minutes from Highland Square. 5 minutes. As a fact, I used to catch the bus, the bus on Market Street, going to high school.
Okay.
You used to go past Doty's Diner.
I've never heard of
every day.
Doty's. It's still there?
It just never popped. No, these are all defunct.
Defunct.
These all would have been around when you were a kid, but are no longer.
When did they shut down?
They were. This was in like the probably early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
This was a diner. This was like ladies in hairnets serving up Salisbury steak.
Maybe you were already
kind of
gone.
Stuff. Yeah. You could have been gone.
That's too bad. I missed Doty. Sorry, Doty.
That's okay. There'll be more on there. But what about Schweizer's restaurant? Where's Schweizer's restaurant? Where's that found? Is that in Detroit, Akron, or the Boston area?
Would they allow a Schweizer's in Lexington?
I'm going Detroit.
Definitely not Boston. Not me. No,
I'm staying on Detroit here. That's Detroit. Schweizer's.
Eventually, we'll get it right.
You go to Schweizer's before Tigers game because it's like old Tiger Stadium where they used to have the clock in the outfield. It's right around there, the corner.
Get yourself a Stroh's.
Ernie Harwell would have been in there, talking with the guys. That is a Detroit spot.
All right, you're going with Detroit, and you're absolutely right about that. It's in downtown Detroit.
Probably a sausage.
It's established by German immigrants in 1862. One of Detroit's oldest restaurants closed in 1991. Schweizer's
Oh, that's too
restaurant
bad. They closed.
in downtown Detroit.
That's too bad.
That great schnitzel.
Yeah, that's right. How about the Jacob Worth restaurant? You guys know.
Oh, that's
one.
Boston.
Hey.
Jacob Worth is Boston.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Hey.
Another German-American eatery. That one, again, 1868. I didn't know this when I was doing the research. That was when it closed in 2018. Jacob Worth was the second oldest continuously operated restaurant.
Didn't they go to a German restaurant in Fast Times at Ridgemont High when he took Jennifer Jason Leigh out for their first date, and they were getting big plates of schnitzel, and he didn't have his wallet.
And
he had to have Damone come bring him his wallet.
I remember that, but I didn't remember the restaurant. That's a good call.
I think it was a German restaurant.
Okay.
2 more Cokes. Just killing time, waiting for his wallet to get there.
All right, let's get a steak. Let's go to Carl's Chop House. Where would I find Carl's Chop House?
Not Boston.
Not Boston.
No.
Okay. So it's down between Akron and Detroit.
It's Carl's Chop
House.
I'm confusing it with Carl's Golfland, which is now an online entity, right there on Telegraph Road.
Or Carl's Sausage Kitchen.
Or Carl's. Oh my God,
It's
Carl's
not Carl's
Sausage.
Sausage Kitchen. That's Carl's with a K. This one is Carl's with a C.
Carl's Chop House. So there's a great one. There's a great one downtown, right down the street from where LeBron James went to high school. Great steakhouse. Tiger Woods went there when he played in the World Series of golf.
Feels like Carl's was maybe an actual place around where I grew up. I'm gonna claim Detroit on this one.
I'm gonna go Akron.
Okay, well, Hardy is correct. It's Detroit. Carl's Chop House, located across from Motor City Casino on Grand River, opened in 1951, closed in 2008.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. This is why you're so good. This is why you're great at what you do, 12. I thought I was able to pick up a pattern. We had.
Oh, no, he's not.
I said, so I thought Detroit, but I said, he's not going to go two Detroits in a row.
Very reason you should have gone away from it.
But
it's game theory.
I know that you think that it's going to go this way, but I think that you think, and so I'm going to do this. And so I just got
Never try and crawl around in the head of 12.
All
It's a
right.
mistake.
So, all right.
He's on to you.
I've never heard of Carl's. I should have said Detroit.
Okay.
Now I'm just gonna play the game straight up.
All right. I got a deli called
Straight up.
I got a deli called Lou and High's. Where is Lou and High's deli?
Lou and High's is in Akron. It's in Fairlawn. As a matter of fact, I used to go there because my mother, black woman from Akron, Ohio, loves her matzo ball soup.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, nice.
All right.
Very good.
I used to get that for her all the time.
Huh.
I was like, you go there and get my matzo ball
After
soup.
that heartwarming story, I so badly wanted it to be Lexington. I just wanted you to be wrong.
All right, we got soup. We don't have matzo ball soup, but we got the Soup Kitchen Saloon. Where's the Soup Kitchen Saloon?
There's no soup kitchen.
Not here.
Kitchen Saloon.
No, that
There's no way.
has Ohio written all over it.
Soup Kitchen Saloon.
Would that be very 12-like to go to
Yes.
Ohio
Well, it's also been a while since we've had a Boston, but I don't think it's here.
That you're going to say is very Adam 12 because it's Soup Kitchen Saloon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, right.
Very on brand.
A
But no,
saloon-
Soup Kitchen Saloon. Where is it?
But a Soup Kitchen Saloon, I think it's here.
You
I think
it's
it's
a
Boston.
Boston area
I
thing?
do.
Saloon.
I don't think so.
That saloon is a bit of a tip-off there.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll double down on that. I'll say Boston.
All right.
All right, you guys are incorrect. The Soup Kitchen Saloon was in Rivertown. It was a blues and Creole spot serving
Where's
Rivertown?
In the Detroit metro.
Okay.
So-
Rivertown?
Yeah, Rivertown. Blues.
Downriver?
Yeah.
Oh,
burned down in the
downriver.
90s. Yeah.
Downriver.
Yeah.
All right.
It said Rivertown. That's what it said.
What the hell is Rivertown?
Saloon.
If you're making up
I'm not
city
making
names.
anything. Here, I'll give you guys an easy one. Where's the No-Name Restaurant?
That's here.
It's
That's
here.
right.
That's
Thank
No-Name
you.
Restaurant
That's
in the
easy.
Seaport
Yeah.
District.
Soup Kitchen
Back in
Saloon.
1917. Yeah, Soup Kitchen Saloon.
And so, and their story is open when?
They
1905.
No, not. Were you talking about No Name? No Name was
No.
1917.
No,
Oh, the Soup Kitchen
Kitchen.
Saloon. No, that one. I don't know when it opened. I just know it closed in the 90s. It was open through the 1990s. What about Joe Guerreri's Restaurant?
Definitely not here.
A downtown Italian eatery known
No.
for its Friday night $10.95 all-you-can-eat seafood buffet.
Ooh,
okay.
At Joe Guerreri's Restaurant.
That's got to be Akron.
That is Akron, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
Well done.
You got it with the 1095.
There you go. There you go.
Is Akron known for its seafood? Is that
Red Lobster? Red Lobster.
It's more the price than the food I'm getting.
Because seafood, where's the body of water you're getting that from in Akron?
a lot of catfish places in Detroit when I was growing up, and I had buddies that
At least you got the water. You got the Cleveland, Lake Erie, walleye. Yes, but seafood in Akron, Ohio, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Okay, well, what about if we're talking like higher end fare here?
Here we go.
This place serves prime rib, crab legs, steak. This is back in the 70s and 80s. Had a dish called Chicken Paradise. It was 2 boneless chicken breasts served on rice pilaf with drawn butter, you would like a lobster tail. This was called the Silver Pheasant. Where is the Silver Pheasant? Is it in Akron? Is it in the Detroit metro? Or is it in the Boston metro?
I don't think
Silver
it's Boston.
Pheasant. Big
I don't
one
think
back
so.
in the 70s and 80s. Fancy restaurant back in the 70s
I don't
and
think
80s.
so.
The Silver Pheasant.
It doesn't ring a bell with me.
I think it's in Akron.
Akron, Ohio? You going to go with him on that?
I'm going to go Akron.
DV?
No, not
You going
doing
Detroit? That's a Detroit. That's a Detroit place, right?
Silver Pheasant.
The Silver Pheasant.
I'm going Boston just because John was so adamant it wasn't Boston.
No, I said it doesn't ring a bell. Don't portray me as going over the top here. I'm not positive about this one.
Well, this time the bell gets rung from Michael Hawley. He is correct. This was...
You're rolling with a tomahawk steak?
That's right. Tomahawk steaks at the Silver Pheasant in Akron, Ohio on right
but
there
you don't
on Grand
remember
Road.
Never. Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Your mom never took you there. They
No,
didn't have
no,
any
no.
matzo ball soup. So.
What about let's go to more family fare. Let's go to Augustine's. Where's Augustine's?
What the hell?
Staple for generations.
Florida.
Families.
Yeah.
In their particular
Fort
area.
Myers.
Augustine's
Augustine.
known for their buffet style meals that you could go and
buffet.
kind of pick and
Augustine.
choose. This was, before the Golden Corral and all those type of places. This was like a mom and pop Augustine's.
Come on, Hardy. You used to go to Augustine's. You go there. You did well in school. Hey, you know what? We're gonna go to Augustine.
No,
Yay!
no,
Augustine!
I'm gonna
No,
say
we're going to Ponderosa.
Okay.
This one might be Boston. I never went to this place, but something's ringing true here.
I'll go with John.
John Wallach. Well done.
Maybe
Augustine's
a
on
little
Route
mash
1
on
in
the side or a
Saugus.
baked potato.
Very much like, very much in the vein of the Hilltop Steakhouse and Kowloon, these big, kind of oversized places serving family food.
Didn't have any kind of animal out in front, like
Not in Augustine's. But you can
that
look
idea was
across-
taken.
You look across the highway and see the cows in front of the Hilltop.
I got a soft spot for the Hilltop because that was the first time we took my daughter out after she was born. And I think we met you there at 12.
Yes.
And it was maybe she's like 3 weeks old or something.
Brand new.
We got to get out of the house. And she hadn't slept more than, I think, 30 minutes since we brought her home from the hospital. I mean, this kid didn't sleep for the first 2 years of her life. But that day at the Hilltop, I think she slept for 2 hours straight.
Yep.
Like just in her little car seat next to us there at the table. And it was absolute heaven.
You're like, this is the place. This
is
is
the
our
place.
place.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
get her to
Love
sleep,
it.
come to the Hilltop.
A lot of family birthdays at the Hilltop back in the day. Number 445 for Sioux City. One more. The European. Where would I find the European party?
Definitely
Be
not
careful here.
Lexington.
I got my hands are doing all these things. I
The
can't
Pilgrim,
forget the
maybe in Lexington.
The European. Is
going
it in
I'm
the
out.
Boston
Oh, it's here.
Metro? Is
It's
it in
here.
the
I'm
Detroit
sorry.
Metro? Is it in the Akron?
Where's the Whitey White? That's in Lexington. Where's the Wonder Bread? Cheap suits.
Sure.
The European is here.
The European was here. That's true. The European was in the North End.
Oh, okay.
Bob's Deli. We'll get some chicken parm.
Yes, you could get a chicken parm, but really, when you went to the European on Hanover Street in the North End, they would bring a pizza out that was the size of the table that they served it on. You get that big. I just remember going there when I was in high school and just getting that giant pizza.
How
at
was
the
their
European.
pizza? They were in the North End.
Yeah,
They had the audacity in the North End to serve pizza
they were the place.
called the European.
They were like the Italian restaurant in the North End.
and
Italy's
like
in
back
Europe.
for
What's
the
the
older,
problem?
I know,
the older
but-
generations.
But you got to say, but if you're going to be serving pizza, the North End, you got so much competition. Italian. You got to say Italian pizza.
I would think.
Or
but-
you got to say Greek pizza. You got to go Greek. You got to be specific. You don't like. Don't you give me that look. I love Greek pizza.
I love Greek pizza, and I only had it a couple of times in my life before I moved to Roslindale, and that's pretty much all they have is Greek pizza outside of the Pleasant Cafe, of course.
It's just such an umbrella term. The European. Like, I need something that I know it's distinct. What can I get at the European? Everything.
Well, what can you get at the Silver Pheasant?
Pheasant.
Get that chicken paradise.
You can get pheasant. I know that.
That drawn butter.
And rice pilaf?
Yeah, it's a.
What you talking about?
Come on.
It is a
go to
beige meal if ever there was one.
All right.
Silver pheasant.
Well done. Thank you, 12.
Thanks, guys.
That was good.
I like that.
Rattling off restaurants.
Are you hungry? Now you're hungry.
I think
Very
only
hungry.
one of them was actually recalled from memory. I think you were the only one.
Oh, Lou and Highs. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was the only one. Jim McBride, don't forget the Bruins are still playing. And we'll find out what they've been doing when we talk with Jim next here on Toucher and Hardy.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the Sports Hub.
I need to get to Vanguard Golf. I need to try.
the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
I'm feeling very nostalgic this morning. The 10-year-old me is thinking about trips to the garden that always included a pizza from the European.
Yeah.
All right. So, McBride, how was the pizza? How was the pizza at the European?
Well, my palate probably hadn't been developed at 10, so I thought it was outstanding. When you could have thrown a Papagino's pit pie in front of me, I would have loved it. So, yeah. But let me tell you about Augustine's. Had the greatest, salad bar. Included every vegetable and communicable disease you could possibly have.
So you're playing this game. You're like, I know where that is. That's Boston, Detroit.
Yeah.
Akron.
Yeah,
you got it.
Oh, the pre-sneeze guard salad bar. Those were the best. Just everything out in the open.
And go back up there. Yeah, send the kids up there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dig in there. Mix things around.
Just dig around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jim, I don't know how many people were paying attention over the weekend, as there was, plenty of stuff going on basketball-wise. But the Bruins had a win over the Red Wings, I believe, 4-2.
Yep.
And now things are, I guess, I don't know if they're more interesting. I'm wondering what you think about their positioning for the playoffs. I know that, I had a lot to do with it. And the Red Wings, they're dealing with some injuries right now. We're not into must-win situations yet, but there was sneaky important points that they picked up in that win over Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought 2 out of the last 3 games really felt like playoff atmosphere. Up in Montreal last week and Detroit over the weekend. I mean, crowds were out in downtown Detroit early afternoon for an 8 o'clock game. So there was definitely a buzz. And, the importance of 4-point swing game like that was, very important at this time of the year. And I think it is pretty close to must-win time because the way that everything's bunched. Montreal's got 86 points. The Bruins have 86 points. Columbus has come out of nowhere now, and they've got a playoff spot. So, it's the oldest cliche in sports, right? Must-win game. But these all feel now like must-win games. And, they have back-to-backs this week starting tomorrow with Toronto and Buffalo. And, they've got to bag these points while they can because, time's running out. There's only a dozen games left.
Jim, this season has surprised me. I don't know why. I didn't think the Bruins would be in playoff contention in 25, 26. So I look at them, I say they're a fun team. Will that description hold up if they don't make the playoffs, or do they need to make the playoffs and to kind of hold that title? Do you look at it the same way, that they're a fun team? It'll be a lot more fun if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's, those good feelings will probably disappear if they don't make the playoffs, right? There wasn't a lot of expectations on this team heading in, especially given the roster turnover from last year. But at this point, to have 39 wins, and 86 points, the expectations have grown, right, through the organization and the fan base. And, I think it would be a huge disappointment if they, kind of peter out down the last stretch here and don't make the playoffs because, fans are ready for it. They weren't expecting it, but now they like it. And this team is, been embraced by the fan base, and it's a good team. It's the team that, Sweeney and Neely talked about being a hard out at the start of the year, and they've proven to be that. And I think, most of that credit goes to Marco Sturm and being able to come in and implement some new systems and get these guys all on the same page. And they really like playing for him.
I'm wondering what your thoughts are about the Bruins actually winning a road game. It seemed like it had been forever. They win at Detroit. They got points back-to-back on the road last week and overtime and shootout losses, what have you. But an actual win in a big game has to really jumpstart this team a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think going back to last week, like you said, they got points in Washington, in New Jersey, and Montreal, and that I think that kind of set them up for success against Detroit. Even though they went down 2-1 in the third period, I thought the resiliency that they showed to stick with it, in an environment that was, that felt playoff-like, and in an atmosphere that they haven't really thrived this year on the road, to stick with it and score 2 goals. Now, Red Wings goalie John Gibson would probably like to have both of those goals back, because they weren't exactly, masterpieces, but they stuck with it and and Swayman was brilliant. So I thought the success they had last week, even though they didn't get, there were 2 overtime losses, the success they had last week told them that they could play on the road and they could compete with good teams on the road, and that I think confidence carried over to Detroit.
Okay, so you brought up Swayman and how good he looked in Detroit. Overall, how do you feel about his play of late and as they hopefully position themselves for the playoffs? And are you surprised at all in the way the goaltending tandem has kind of like come to fruition throughout this season?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, and it's funny. I've seen some straw polls about Vezina winners and candidates, and I've seen Logan Thompson and Vasilevsky, and those guys are having great years. But that Swayman's name is not being tossed around as a Vezina candidate really surprises me, because he's been unbelievable. I think he's been so sharp pretty much all year. A little dip maybe, but certainly since he came back from the Olympics, he's been probably the best goalie in the NHL. And you heard Marco Sturm say it last week. And it's a high compliment, and it's deserved.
It wasn't Hellebuck the other night, that's for sure. Letting in everything.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. And that goes to confidence too. Like, to put a 6 spot up on Hellebuck was pretty good. Now, it was home ice. I get that, but I thought that they were going to have to lean more on Joonas Korpisalo this month, especially with all the games, all the backs and the compacted schedule. But Swayman's played so well, it's hard to take that guy out of the lineup, right? Because he's just so focused, and he made some probably a handful of 10 bell saves in that third period against Detroit, and really kept them in it, because at 2-1 he makes a bunch of saves. They tie it up. Detroit gets a power play, and I don't know if you saw that power play, but they had a handful of quality chances, and he came up big, and they kill that penalty, and then Zadorov goes down and scores the goal, and they didn't look back from there. So it's hard to take him out of the lineup. Now, you're probably going to see Korpisalo in one of these games, either tomorrow night or Wednesday, because it's just hard to play back-to-backs. But it's hard to take that guy out of the lineup, because he's just so focused, and you can see the team is really confident in front of him. And that's not a shot at Korpisalo. It's just the way that Swayman's playing.
Jim, this is remarkable. You said that Swayman has played like the best goalie in the NHL, and he has this year, but then you say that in 2026, it makes sense. Say that in 2025, it's probably the opposite. What's the big difference? What have you seen? What have you heard to see this turnaround from Jeremy Swayman?
Yeah, I think it's mental, right? Like last year, there was the contract dispute, and he missed all the training camp, and that's really hard. Like I think people, their expectations were maybe too high of him last year. Like, he was working out with BU while the Bruins were in training camp, and he was not seeing NHL shots every single day in camp, and then come in and play the second game of the season, and to think that he was going to be on the same level as the rest of the team was unfair. And he's since then, really, I think that the jumping off point was the World Championships last year, when he went over and really backboned the U.S. to a gold medal. And I think that's the spot where he regained his confidence. And he came into training camp this year, and I think he's looked really solid all year long. And I don't think there was anything physically wrong with him last year. I just think that the focus wasn't there at the beginning, and it's hard to play catch up at the pro level. And it took the offseason to do it, and he's done it. And here he is playing like he did in the playoffs a couple of years ago. And that's a good thing for this team, because they need it.
Okay, Jim, here's the story. James Higgins, a possibility for the Bruins. Boston College, their season ended on Friday. They officially did make the NCAA tournament yesterday. A lot of rumors all over the place. I was reading Elliot Friedman said this morning he expects a resolution one way or another today. Is James Higgins, the first-round draft pick of the Bruins last year, going to be suiting up for this team this week?
Well, I certainly think there's a spot to slot him in, right at left wing on the third line. Like that spot's been kind of available all year. It's been Alex Steeves has been in there, Mikey Asamont's been in there, Lucas Reichel the last 2 games, who looked pretty good in his 2-game audition. Had a penalty shot the other night. But yeah, if you want to give James Higgins a shot, and sure, and by all indications, this kid's ready for professional hockey, right? So, is it at the AHL level or the NHL level? And that's what they have to decide. It's a big ask to have a kid come in as a professional in the middle of a playoff race and take a spot on the third line. But from what I've seen out of James, and I think he can do it because I think he has the vision and the speed and the creativity to make an impact. But it's like I said, it's hard. You want to burn a year of his entry-level contract for a dozen games or so? That's what you have to weigh. And I think that's what the Bruins are deciding. And I would agree with Elliot. I think it comes to a head, today or tomorrow. He's going to sign, but where does he start? Providence or Boston? And I think, I think the logical choice is probably Boston because there's a spot there to give him a shot.
There's a lot of rhetoric surrounding this player in this, particular circumstance. Everything from don't you dare, waste a year of that entry-level contract, for a team that doesn't have much shot, to the other side. If Higgins wants to play in the NHL, you let him play.
That's the thing. Sweeney might want to send him to Providence. The kid's like, no, if I'm signing, I'm playing with the big guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about him personally, Jim, but I mean, is there any reason to believe he would have, feeling strongly one way or the other, or is he going to do, whatever he is instructed to do without much feedback?
Yeah, I spent some time with him and his family in LA last year at the draft, and he doesn't strike me as that type of person, like a kid that's going to demand this or that. I think he's, coachable, and he'll listen to what the Bruins have to say. From a financial, point of view, like if you want to give him a dozen games, that's probably worth burning that entry level that year because it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you're going to give him a cameo, 1 or 2 games to burn an entry, a year off that deal, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So I think if they're going to burn that year, they're going to get him in the lineup as soon as possible because, you want to get a look now. Now there's not a lot of friendly landing spots, right? Because every game is so important. Maybe it's tomorrow against the Toronto team that has, underperformed tremendously this year. Maybe that's the spot. But I don't know if you want to throw him in Wednesday night against Buffalo, which has been the best team in the league since, late December.
Everybody has visions of it. You remember when Charlie McAvoy left BU, goes right into a playoff series. I think it was against Ottawa, and looked like he had been there for 5 years.
But he did go to Providence first.
He did go to Providence.
He went to Providence.
For a brief spell, but it was pretty clear right away that Charlie was an NHL
that he belonged.
player.
So let me ask you, we're talking about the playoffs, and the Bruins have been surprising. They're in this log jam for this, first or second wild card spot. How much of a chance do they have? I mean, if you look at whoever you think the favorite is in the East and compare them with the Bruins, how does it match up for the Bruins?
Yeah, I think this team's going to be a tough out, not to, mimic Sweeney and Neely, but if you look at them, if they can settle that third line left wing, they've got Pasta on the top line, and that's always a threat to score. The second line's been the best, most consistent line all year. They settle that third line, and that fourth line is so heavy and tough to play with. I think if you get them in a 7-game series, they're going to be a tough physical team to play with. I don't think a lot of teams are going to look forward to playing against them because, they make it tough on you. And then, of course, there's Swayman in the back. Their big problem when they get in trouble is when they allow odd man rushes, right? Sometimes the defensemen pinch a little too early, and that can get them in trouble. But I think they feel confident in pinching because Swayman's back there. So, this team's a tough out. And, I think no matter who you match them up against, they're going to give any team a series. So, it'll be interesting to see.
All right, Jim, we appreciate the time as always. You can read Jim in the Boston Globe. Appreciate it, as always, buddy. I don't like seeing that snow on the ground. It's going to put golf off a little bit.
I know. I want to get back out there with you, Hardy.
It's going to be a while.
I'll tell you what, we'll play, and then we'll go for lunch at Augustine's.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Yeah. All right, Jim McBride,
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. There is a new list of the richest people in the world. There are several sports figures on this list.
Anybody we know?
A few that we know.
Lots.
Anybody who works here?
Yeah. Hold on.
A couple.
Michael.
Couple. Did you make it? Did you make it this year, Hardy?
I did not make it.
Last year you did.
But it's only the top 3,000 and some richest people in the world. So yeah, maybe they got to expand it out a little bit more. But not quite a quiz. We'll just see where a few of these familiar names rank. We'll take a look at that next. Hold on.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius.
where there's just a bad time. But this,
Right.
This is a good time. But no, it has to do with the explosion of AI and the markets. And there's more ways to make money now. And yes, there are some familiar names on the list. We'll go through as many of these. Does anyone know just off the top of their head who is the richest person in the world? The richest singular person?
Yes, you do? You know the richest
It's
person in
Elon
the world?
Musk, and it's not close.
Yes. Now, would you care to take a guess how many $1 billion Elon Musk is worth currently?
Oh, well, it's just, I can't count that high. Billions.
How about $839 billion?
I was going to say 350 or 400 billion.
Right? I mean, he's
what is it?
$839 billion.
839.
We're talking like Saudi public wealth fund wealth.
Now,
And John, you said it's not close. So if you know number one, then you must know number two.
I don't know number two, but I can tell you. Well, first of all, explain the gap between Elon Musk and second place.
Second place is $257 billion, and I would not be surprised if you didn't know the names of number 2 or number 3.
I know I don't.
Okay.
Not Steve Jobs, not Apple, not like that.
No, both of these gentlemen were involved in Alphabet, the parent company of Google. So at number 2, the second wealthiest person in the world is Larry Page. Stepped down as CEO of Google's parent company in 2019, but he is still on the board and a controlling shareholder. Same goes for Sergey Brin. He was president of Alphabet, Google's parent company. He's worth $237 billion.
So Page is worth how much?
$257.
$257.
$250, Sal. You pay me $250 a week.
So $250. Sal, here, $250. My pay is $250. Here's what your money. Here,
2, 3, 4. There, you're a rich man.
Hey,
Mookie's
go
a
ahead.
rich man.
Everybody. Thank you. 257 versus 839.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's 3 times as wealthy as the second place guy.
All right, so now we get some Amazon guy, number 4, Jeff Bezos, 224. Our Facebook friend Mark Zuckerberg, 222. Larry Ellison. Now this is the name that I knew, but I didn't know how I knew it. Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of Oracle, the software company. He owns about 40% of it. He's worth $190 billion. Warren Buffett hanging in the top 10. Good job, Warren. He's still worth $149 billion. All right, there we go.
Those are the top ones, huh?
Who is the first sports person on this list? It's not a player. It's an owner. Who's the first sports person on the list?
You got a guess?
Number 15 is the 15th wealthiest person in the world.
Is it one of the Broncos people? Because at the whole Walmart thing. No, it's not a. Not a Walton.
Yeah, okay, the Waltons are in there, but they're not sports people. I mean, they're retailers.
They own the Broncos.
Okay. I
said it's not a player.
I suppose you could say the same thing for this guy, but this is his chief job now, right, John? Do you know who I'm talking about?
It's not. Well, I was thinking either Woody Johnson or Jerry Jones.
Steve Ballmer.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I thought because
got it.
So what's Ballmer's number?
Ballmer is worth $126 billion.
126 billion. So he builds the Intuit Dome, gets them in.
Yeah.
I would have had 130, but I kind of messed around with
He
this
just
Intuit
reached
Dome.
into his pocket and handed the billion over to buy the building.
And they caught me on the Kawhi thing.
Let's go the other way.
I'm gonna need some more money for that one too.
Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, both incredibly rich. But if Steve Ballmer woke up with their money tomorrow, he would kill himself.
Oh,
okay?
boy. All right.
So how far down the list do you have to go before you get to, we'll start with Jerry Jones.
So Ballmer's at 15?
Yes.
So Jones is probably at 73.
I said more than that. I'm betting he's in the hundreds somewhere.
Very good. 128.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones worth $20 billion. Now, I believe Jer made most of his money in oil and land speculation.
Want him some glory hole. Remember that?
Yeah.
I want me some glory hole.
I think that there's like a stretch of highway. I remember reading about Jerry where it's like if you drive from Dallas to Little Rock or something, just on both sides of the highway for miles and miles and miles, that's all Jerry's land. Or was at one time before he sold it.
Pretty incredible.
He just bought land and land and land. Robert Kraft, where does he rank on the list?
Okay. You figure Kraft isn't in Jerry's ballpark.
Jerry is at 128 with $20 billion. Where is Robert Kraft?
Oh, this is pissing Kraft off too. First of all, Jerry gets in the Hall of Fame. I don't.
He's got 6.2 more $billion than I do.
Is that what it is? So
13.8.
13.8. So that's good for 162 on the list.
210.
210.
All right.
They're not even in the hundreds.
Now, Mark Cuban, who I always thought of as being like an uber wealthy
because he
guy,
talks all the time,
right? Not doing so great. He's only worth $6 billion. He's way down the list. But when it comes to athletes, there are 3 athletes that we identified on the list.
Michael Jordan.
Very good. Yeah. $4.3 billion from Michael Jordan.
LeBron James.
Very good. 1.4. There's one more.
Tiger Woo.
No. Somebody's been watching the updated version of Shaft. Tiger Woo. I like you.
That's
Tiger
impressive.
Woo.
That's good.
Tiger Woo.
Good pull. No, I know who this is, but Michael,
you do?
Yes, I do. And
I will say it's movie theater and coffee money.
Yes. Has owned pieces of a lot of franchises recently.
I have one of his jerseys hanging
Magic.
in my basement.
There you
Magic,
go.
of course.
Magic Johnson.
So what's the Magic at?
1.6. I mean, you think Magic did very well after basketball? Oh, I didn't know how well he did.
Yeah.
$1.6 billion.
And it's impressive for him because, I mean, think about it. You have one of his jerseys. So he played in the, late 70s, early 80s. That was like the prime Magic. And the numbers weren't the contract numbers.
Oh, he didn't make none of that from basketball.
No.
If you go back and look at the first NBA salary cap, the number was crazy. It was like $6 million.
Wow.
Like for your whole team.
For the
team. And so I got to give Magic credit for just some of the business deals. He is as great as he was on the court. He's more impressive as a businessman off the court.
Starbucks, right? Didn't Magic have a big?
I remember the movie theaters. I don't remember that.
And Showcase.
Yeah,
yeah. I think he owned a bunch of movie theaters.
And kind of jump in. Let me just kind of jump in on the Dodgers here a little bit. Let me jump in on the Commanders.
Right.
He's just found himself, and then the Magic Hour, of course, the great late night show.
The Magic 8 Ball and the Magic 8 Ball.
Let's shake it up.
Shake it up.
No, the Magic Hour lasted how long?
Not long. Probably
a week,
a month,
So,
maybe.
Who was his music? You remember who his musical director was? Remember who played all the music for him?
No.
Who was it?
Sheila E.
So he had Sheila E.
He had Sheila E. to lead his band.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was Magic doing a talk show. That's not.
Soon after its debut, the series was panned by critics, citing Johnson's apparent nervousness as a host.
He couldn't speak.
His over-complimentary tone with his celebrity guests and lack of chemistry with his sidekick, comedian Craig Shoemaker. Boy, I don't remember.
So did he come up with the did he pick Shoemaker, or was Shoemaker kind of pushed and forced on him?
I don't know.
Hey, here's your guy. You gonna do this? Here's it.
Should have used Artie Lang.
Good luck.
Yeah. Here's our comedian. Now go ahead, do that thing. Go ahead, do it. Be funny.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the Howard Stern appearance on the Magic Hour because Howard Stern.
Oh, Howard Stern was
right?
on the Magic Hour.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's a good get for Magic.
So okay, he was booked to appear on the show because Howard was goofing on him and how bad Magic was. Stern appeared on the July 2nd broadcast with the band The Losers, played the song Wipeout. While being interviewed by Johnson, Stern asked Johnson about his lifestyle prior to contracting HIV. Oh my God.
Okay.
Whoever was advising
Yeah,
Magic
yeah, bring him.
had never heard Howard Stern
Yeah,
before.
Magic, if you got to bring him on, okay, this is what you should be ready for.
Stern
He's
also
not ready
asked,
for anything.
Stern also asked about the white guy comedian Craig Shoemaker, who had been fired shortly before Stern's appearance for publicly calling the show an absolute nightmare.
Well,
Yes. The series was canceled after 8 weeks. So
But look,
8 weeks. All right.
8 weeks. That was it.
Did
2
not,
months.
Did not hurt Magic's bottom line. Wow, we're late. Sorry. Okay, we got to go. We will be back and talk some more college basketball here in a moment. Hold on.
65 years of broadcasting. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Minnesota Timberwolves scored 16 straight points in the fourth quarter and beat the Celtics at TD Garden last night, 102-92. Jaylen Brown, 29 points for the Celtics. Bones Highland, 23 points off the bench for the visitors. This three-game homestand continues for the Green Wednesday night against Oklahoma City. At the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament, the Sweet 16 is set, and the defending champ is out. Iowa got a three-pointer from Alvaro Forgueras with 4.5 seconds left. They beat top-seeded Florida 73-72. Connecticut advanced. They beat UCLA 73-57. Top-seed Arizona, a winner 78-66 over Utah State. But the game of the day was in San Diego. St. John's got a layup from Dylan Darling at the buzzer to beat Kansas 67-65. Bruins off until tomorrow night when they host Toronto. BC didn't make the field of 16 for the NCAA Men's Hockey Tournament. There's still no word on whether or not Bruins top draft pick from last year, James Higgins, plans to turn pro. And the Red Sox beat Pittsburgh yesterday 6-3 in preseason baseball. They will host Minnesota today at JetBlue Park in their second-to-last game of their preseason. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Join Tyler Milliken and Kendra Middleton for a watch party Thursday for MLB opening day from 4 to 6 p.m. at Game On Fenway on Lansdowne Street in Boston with a chance to score tickets to the Boston home opener. Lines in. Play ball. Must be 21 or older. Relax responsibly. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Deep three, violent two-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
You've been aggravated since we turned the mics on.
I don't know what it is. I don't have time to think about that right now.
Toucher and Hardy.
It's ridiculous.
The Sports Hub.
Around
the NCAA Tournament
with Toucher and Hardy.
It is March Madness, and as we are now into the Sweet 16, let's not relive some moments, but hear from some of the standout stars. Let's go to the Michigan State University and hear what 12 am I up?
You're up now.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Jeremy Fears here. What do you have to say about your Spartans?
This Point Guard University, Coach says to me he had great point guards before.
What are you laughing at, John?
Did Michigan State play yesterday? I'm just wondering.
Well, it's just I wanted.
He wanted to get a little Spartan love in there. Come on, John.
This isn't a news segment.
I'm sorry.
This is recapping the first two rounds.
Of course.
Let me start it over.
Come on, John. Once we started talking about
my mistake, I'm very sorry for interrupting.
Once we started talking about Schweitzer's, it took him down the road.
I got you. I got you. That's on me. I'm very sorry. Start over.
This Point Guard University, Coach says to me he had great point guards before me, I'm just trying to keep it going. But overall, it's my teammates. Teammates, they making the shots. They doing the hard part. I'm just getting them the ball.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Fears, Eric Snow, all the other great point guards.
Magic.
Magic.
Jace Richardson.
That's right.
There you go.
Now, Michael, did you want
Mateen Cleaves.
Mateen Cleaves. Unorthodox shot.
Won a national championship.
But won him a national championship.
A lot of good players, a lot of guards. I don't know a lot of pure point guards, but a lot of good guards.
Yeah.
Mo Pete.
Oh, man.
There's some good guards at Michigan State.
Now, it just gave me a chance to talk about my alma mater for a second. Michael, how did yours do in the tournament? Go ahead, take as much time as you need.
Well, the team that I root for are my actual alma mater, which is not in the NCAAs.
No.
Oh, I thought you went to Ohio.
No, I'm
he's an Ohio State
I'm
fan.
an Ohio State fan, but my Point Park University Pioneers from NAIA District 18.
Oh. All this time I thought you were a Buckeye.
But I am a Buckeye.
Oh.
But I am a lifelong Buckeye.
We're all Buckeyes.
We're all Buckeyes.
What is Albert Breer? Yeah, now, I imagine he's okay with you being a fan of Ohio State.
No, let me turn it around. I'm okay with him. No, you got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Here we go.
I'm okay with him claiming to be a Buckeye when he grew up here and then went to school there for 4 years, as opposed to being born and raised on that soil.
Okay. Does it
breathing that air?
Soil.
Does it
going to the?
You're not from Columbus.
Going to the Silver Pheasant and Lewitt Highs for the matzo ball soup.
Right. Good for you.
Now,
Yeah, but it's all family. It's good. He's good.
is it a point in Bert's favor that while he only went there for 4 years, in many ways he never left? He is still very much a student of Ohio State University.
I love getting the inside info from Bert. Bert knows everybody.
Yes.
Like what? And I think Felger said this before. All the stuff that Bert knows, he's still giving you like 30% of really what he knows. I mean, he knows. I won't tell on his sources. But we had dinner a couple of times in San Francisco during Super Bowl week, and just riding in an Uber with Bert. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I got to take this. I'm like, is he talking to?
Yeah,
he is talking to that.
I'm not gonna blow up his spot either. He's been sitting in
and
here
he's advising them.
Yeah,
he's giving them like, hey, well, this is what you should do, and hey, I talked to this guy, and this is probably going to happen in the next couple of days, and it happens.
Yeah.
So
I've been sitting in here, and I've seen his phone go off with unsolicited texts. Just not people getting back to him, but I'm like, holy crap! He's just. Not hiding it, but also he doesn't want it made public. Yes, he speaks with
plugged in. So
yes.
Anything I need to know about Ohio State, I know he is familiar and friendly with the coaching staff.
A little bit.
So, hey, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to be able to get this guy? Yeah, they got it. What do you think about NIL, transfer portal? Oh, I got this guy. He's the first guy. As a matter of fact, Bert. I learned from Bert before it became public. Hey, just look out for this. There's this safety. It's best safety in the country, top safety in the SEC. Guy's name is Caleb Downs. Ohio State's going to get him. They're going to pay him a lot of money. He's going to get there. And that was like 2 weeks before it happened. And so, Bert's all over that kind of stuff.
Yes. Did you do you tinker at all with the gambling, the wagering?
Oh, I mess around a little bit, Hardy.
I got to
mess around.
I got to thank High Point, and I got to thank Siena and the early cash out option on Siena for covering all of my March Madness so far, because I was going crazy with the underdogs, and days 2 and 3 not so much, but those first round games, both the Siena Duke game and High Point, those were both on Thursday, weren't they, John?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That took care of me for the rest of the weekend.
Did you go in? So in the Siena game, which was amazing, they were up by double digit at halftime. I thought they were actually going to win. The way they were playing, like Duke, at the end of the first half, I think it was Boozer, the less talented Boozer. What's his name? Anyway, not
Boozer,
not the big guy, but
Beta Boozer.
But he had the ball. They looked scared. They looked scared to pass the ball. They looked scared to shoot, because I think the enormity of, oh, damn, we're losing to a 16 seed.
Well, they shot so poorly in the first half. Yeah, they were afraid to shoot, but then they were getting stuck, and they were getting caught flat-footed on defense.
Because they didn't make any substitutions.
Now, listen, I've been wrong about way more.
Were you in early on Siena, or did you see how the first 5 minutes you said, oh, let me get in here?
It was so crazy. After the first few minutes, I live bet them, so I didn't even get them at the good number. And really the only thing I've gotten right so far in the tournament, when they were still up 6, I cashed out.
You cashed out when they were up 6.
Yep. And it went all Duke's way after that.
Yeah.
And we had the multi-screen going, and Marcy is sitting there watching it with me, and she was all into it. And again, I've been wrong about practically everything, but I said, and I was right on this one, I said, this one's over. As soon as Duke got it to 2 and they were still down, I said, we can focus in on Michigan State. We can watch flag football. This game, I'll leave it up there on the screen for us, and you can watch it, but there's no point in listening to this. It's going to go poorly. If you're rooting for the Cinderella here, it's not going to happen. And you could just tell as the starters, entered their 37th minute in their 38th minute and they hadn't left the floor yet. I'm like, it's all done. They don't have anything left.
And I get it. I mean, if you're Jerry McNamara, the former Siena coach,
yeah,
now
that's
the
right,
coach at Syracuse, I understand what he's looking at. Okay, they've got, for the 10th year in a row, seemingly, they got the #1 recruiting class in the country. They got lottery picks. They got future pros, even on their bench, and we're Siena. So our sixth guy, our seventh guy, even though he gives us a spell, our best shot is with these 5 guys here, even if they're tired. And I could understand what he was thinking, too, because there was some stat that hasn't happened since 1979. Like somebody played the same 5 the entire game.
Oh, that was DePaul in the national semifinal against Indiana State.
But think about 1979 and the TV situation then. You didn't have as many TV timeouts. You didn't have all of the breaks that they get now. So you can kind of engineer this thing where you're not actually taking, you're not burning timeouts, but the TV timeouts will give you a little bit of a break. So I understand what he was thinking.
All the extra timeouts you get during the reviews, and it happened last night.
Did you make that up, by the way, that DePaul thing?
No, that's right.
Okay,
that's absolutely right.
That caught me off guard. That was a little weird.
DePaul against who?
Larry Bird, Indiana State, national semifinal, 79.
1979.
Now, did you know this ahead of time, or was it just brought back to your attention after
brought back to my
Siena
attention?
Game?
Didn't know it ahead. I remember it happening, and then the stat was brought up again while Jerry McNamara was doing this.
That's it. And DePaul's best player in 1979 was?
It wasn't Aguirre, was it?
It probably was. Mark Aguirre.
Oh, the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
Big muffin ass. He'd back that thing down.
He'd back you down.
It was that big trade. Second championship year.
Back it up.
Quite a wagon he was dragging.
Yeah, big trade. Brought Aguirre in.
Hell yeah.
Former overall #1 pick.
That was
from
great.
Dallas. Yeah.
All right. So who had the winning shot last night for St. John's? Dylan Darling.
Yes.
All right. So he was asked after the game what his coach, Rick Pitino, was saying to him in the huddle.
What did your coach say to you in that final timeout?
Yelling at me.
Is he
yelling at me per usual?
Because of the
telling me to do something.
You did something?
No, it was ugly, but we got it done.
We were talking about Rick Pitino and how maybe he's not necessarily liked by his players, even though he seems to know what's going on. And Michael, you told us the great story earlier of 25 years ago at the Garden, where you'd be able to sit, right next to the benches, in the press seating, and you could hear Pitino and the way he would call plays.
Yeah, Pitino in the huddle, drawing up a play. I haven't in my career. I haven't heard 2 or 3, or haven't seen or heard 2 or 3 coaches with more just pure basketball X's and O's knowledge than Rick Pitino. So he would tell him, he'd get in the huddle, okay, listen, this is what's going to happen. You screen here, you do that, and then he's going to be wide open. He's going to be wide open on the baseline, or you're going to be able to drive for a layup. And if they listen to him, it would happen. Now, the problem is, as Dylan Darling says, he screamed a little too much for the pros, and they started to tune him out.
And even in the post game, when it's like, it's all good, we just got this huge win, and we're all kind of celebrating, the two of them at the podium together.
Dylan, is this your first buzzer beater, or have you hit something like this before?
This is my first one in college. First one.
What'd you do in the NBA?
Well,
So there's Pitino butting in.
No. Busting, like high school doesn't count. That's what basically what he's saying.
If that's all you've done before you got to college, it kind of counts.
Yeah,
we talk about players' high school careers.
That's the thing. The player, I don't know if you have the rest of that clip, but
I do.
Then play it because the player gets back at him.
First one.
What'd you do in the NBA?
Well, I'm saying I played in high school and middle school, Coach. I didn't just start playing ball. This, I don't know. I'm not sure. This, I can't remember. Maybe.
Yeah, Coach, I didn't come to you like out of thin air. You
get a sense that he's just, as good as he is, and he just probably operates from a default level of being a prick.
Yeah, yes,
absolutely.
That's,
right.
I mean, with his players all the time.
Absolutely.
I knew he wasn't going to make it in the pros. So this is his first year. So first year, there are no expectations, right? Like everybody was excited. Rick Pitino is going to be the head coach of the Celtics. This is going to be fun. They've got the 3rd pick in the draft. They got the 6th pick in the draft. Didn't turn out the way they thought it would. But
if you trade the 3rd pick in the draft 2 months into the season, that's a problem.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
You're welcome, by the way, Hardy.
So they had an exhibition game. I think they were playing in State College. Okay. Like, who cares? Exhibition game, October. They lose the game. All the other players play like 18 minutes. They lose the game by 15. Pitino goes into the locker room, trashes the locker room, throwing stuff around. And the players are looking around like, what's wrong with this dude?
Yeah.
So he never adjusted, ever. John, I'm telling you, he never adjusted to
I saw it in real time the same way you did.
NBA pace.
Yeah.
And to the power that NBA players have over you. He still thought, I'm Rick Pitino. This is my program, and you're going to do what I tell you to do.
Well, you were talking about his X's and O's skill on that whiteboard. I mean, the problem was that he didn't stop talking. He didn't let the players go out and do it. The players would be out there, and he'd still be screaming at them. Go over here, set this screen. I mean, there was no let-up. It was a beating from the second you signed with that team to the moment you left, if he was in charge.
And you said earlier when you were talking about Minnesota last night, how physical they were with the Celtics, and you don't see that in the NBA. Another thing you don't see in the NBA, Hardy, pressing.
Yeah.
So his teams with the Knicks and with they pressed.
Yep.
And how if you were a season ticket holder for the Celtics and Pitino was the head coach, you heard 2 words the entire game. Black, 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 white, white, white. That was their press.
Yeah.
It was either white or black.
Yeah.
And he'd hold up his fist, black, 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 black. White, white, white. The players would be running all over the place. And I remember they signed a guy named Chris Mills.
I remember that.
They signed a guy named Chris Mills, NBA veteran, to a free agent contract. He's in training camp a couple of weeks with the Celtics. He goes up to, cause he thinks as a veteran, I'll go up to coach. I'll talk to him. Hey, coach, it's a long season. Guys are, a little concerned that, they'll be worn out by the time the season starts.
It's a long game. It's 8 minutes longer than the college game. We gotta.
Oh, you don't like it? Good to know. Trade it.
Seriously, he was gone.
Get out of here.
Real fast.
Signed him.
Yep.
Free agent contract. Mills goes up to him and says, hey, respectfully, coach. No, respectfully.
Was it a month? How long was he here for?
It wasn't long.
I think it was about a month.
Got him out.
Yeah.
See ya.
The best part was that what Pitino would do is he'd sign guys that he liked. Like there was this guy named Travis Knight. Went to UConn. He traded like 5 guys to clear up enough cap room to bring in Travis Knight. It was a terrible center.
Except he didn't.
And then he signed Travis Knight to like a 5-year contract.
7.
So was it 7?
Yes.
Even better,
7 years.
Yes.
7 years. And this is before, people were giving out that kind of length in contracts.
But no, here's the funny part of the story. He did not clear up enough salary cap space to do it. So the Celtics agreed to terms with Travis Knight. This is one of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
They agreed to terms with Travis Knight. And we're waiting. Okay, when's the press conference? What's going on?
That's right. I forgot about that.
The problem was he didn't have the money.
Pitino has no idea.
It's not going into the store. I'll take that TV.
That's great.
Yeah, okay. It's time to pay.
I remember this now.
Hold on. How much you say? How much you say that is? What? Well, let me, why don't you put that on layaway for a second? I'll come back. I'm going to come back with my boys.
Despite all of this, you couldn't tell him anything.
Because he thought.
His ego is immense.
He thought he could get Travis Knight, bring back the actor Rick Fox and somebody else. So he thought he could do that. And you're like, hey, man, if you're going to have Travis Knight, you're going to have to cut Rick Fox. You're going to have to cut all these other guys.
Yeah, we're going to have 8 players.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really? And so that's how that happened.
Oh, my God.
That night was terrible.
I love that.
Once he got it was awful. We only got him for 6 more years.
And
Great.
he must have just had a bunch of people. I mean, obviously his staff and people around him, but they
Suck-ups.
all had to be afraid to talk to him, too.
That's what it was. He surrounded himself with his guys from Kentucky and yes men. Brought up a guy from Providence. It was just only Rick Pitino, yes, you're right, you are, sir.
But get ready because Rick Pitino I wouldn't be surprised, John, if they wind up in the Final Four. St. John's.
Yeah, they're moving on. We got a break. We'll come back. We can talk more about that, and we'll also get to the email and everything else.
Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
We got emails. You can email me, Hardy at 985thesportshub.com. John, what is yours? Jon.
John, Jon.
Jon at 985thesportshub.com. And Michael Holly.
Journalism professor.
Yeah.
Professor at Gmail.
BostonUniversity.edu.
Yeah.
Professor Michael.
Prof. Holly.
Yeah, you probably do have one of those fancy EDU email addresses, don't you?
I do.
Prof. Holly. That has a good ring to it. I like that.
Prof. Holly.
I was listening. This is from Timma. I was listening to McCarthy and Kendra yesterday. I didn't know those two were on yesterday. She mentioned that she's always dreamed of being a falconer.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
But did not have the time to commit to working her way up through the different categories of birds. Is this something that Wallach can provide a letter of recommendation for, since she's been a frequent guest on the show?
Yeah.
Help her skip a few levels.
I see.
You know anybody, John?
I do not.
Got any insight?
Falconry.
I don't know.
So there's
why would anyone? Why is it something you aspire to? I would think most falconers, that's something you fall into. It's not something you're a freshman in college. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a falconer. I don't see that happening.
Well, it's something that you would only encounter like in a Wes Anderson film. You know, I could see like there being a falconry club at Rushmore Academy.
Sure, that's a good call. Yes.
Like fantasy novels, like The Dark Tower,
right?
I
Harry
think,
Potter. Sure.
Yeah. There's a young falconer in the first series of books, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's not the family. It's not the family business. It's not passed down.
Mean, if you've got like a weird great uncle who is like into it, then maybe you could get into falconry. But beyond that, who does it? I mean, the guy at the playoff games when they fly the bald eagle around.
Yeah.
You know, you got him. But there's got to be like 7 or 8 falconers in the entire country.
But you need that guy, because what happens if that guy's if he's not available? You need somebody. He's got to have that guy's got a backup, right?
Well, but also what a great gig. We want a bald eagle to fly around the stadium. There's like one guy we can get. How much does he cost? I don't know. If that guy told you $20,000 to have you come to the game, and that's what you decided you wanted, I mean,
no, I'm going to the backup.
What's the actual service cost? You know, about $200.
You could charge. I know, but you could charge what you want.
You
There's
can
only
charge
7 of you in the country.
Wait a minute. I'm going on. You got 5 stars on Google. I'm going to go to the 4-star.
How do you review a falconer, Michael?
I'm going to go to the 4-star.
How do you review the falconer?
Did a
the
nice
eagle
job.
only landed with one talon, or what? How do you do that?
Eagle came back.
Seriously.
Hold on, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna Google falconer review on Yelp.
You do that. You do that. I have an email here. It says, "Morning, Waldick. What the hell are you wearing? Did you steal a moving blanket from the back of a U-Haul?" What's wrong with what I'm wearing?
No, that is
it's like a good quilted look.
The only time
cozy
I've ever touched John Wallach is when he is wearing that hoodie, because it looks so soft.
It is.
I didn't touch you today, but I've touched you in the past.
I know.
You just want to feel
it's
it.
Marine layer. Marine layer, like kind of a
Say that again, please.
Jacket hoodie.
Say that again, please.
Marine layer.
You're giving it an extra syllable.
Marine layer.
I
thought you were saying Marian.
He was saying it. He said it 3 times.
Okay, but then
Marian.
Okay.
Army, Navy, Air Force,
Marines. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Anyway, very cozy, very comfortable.
We give it. You won't read it in a book.
All the commercials.
You live it. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
It's a great place to start.
I like Marine late.
All those they've had some great commercials over the years.
The Marines specifically,
the armed forces, right? Aren't you shocked that you didn't sign up just based on the commercials?
Did you talk to recruiters in high school?
Once.
Yeah, how did that go?
my mom found out it didn't go well. It didn't go well. You did what? Because I didn't just talk to a recruiter. There was an invitation to the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Your mom wanted nothing to do with the
It's
service
like,
people.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. So
okay.
I was suspicious of their recruiting because I spoke with one guy and a buddy of mine, Chuck Cooley. He was going in like right after high school, and it did something to help him to have his friends talk to this recruiter. It's like, hey, if you could talk to him, then I don't know, he was going to get more rations or something at boot camp. I don't know how it worked. I said, yeah, I'll talk to him. And the guy talked to me, and he looked at my grades, and he looked at my transcripts. He goes, with your grades and with your background, you could go like directly into like the nuclear engineering program aboard like a nuclear submarine. It's like you really got. And meanwhile, I had only passed my last 2 math classes in high school, calculus especially, by the good graces and good nature of the teacher. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't understand it after week 1. I'm like, and these guys want to put me on a nuclear submarine because they think I'm good at math?
you want to do this?
Look.
You want me to represent this country?
The national defense.
Let me stop you right there. I'm here for my buddy Chuck. So we can do the song and dance. Yeah. But let me tell you 2 things. I got no business being around anything nuclear, and also thank you, but no thanks.
But that is a very good Marine
layer
hoodie you have on. And then they have, I've seen it. This is becoming a thing now. They're kind of trendy. Now they have quarter zips.
Yes.
What they say, you've seen these.
Yes.
The quarter zips, the kind of same kind of construction, same kind of setup.
Quilted material.
Quilted, yeah.
But now that guy said moving blanket, I am looking at it.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. Should be hanging up on the walls of a freight elevator.
Yeah. Dave emails in, I need help from the panel. I've had a responsibility put upon me I'm not sure I'm ready for. I agreed to be an assistant coach for the 8 and under Dedham softball girls when my friend backed out. I'm uniquely unqualified for this job because not only am I terrible at sports, I'm also terrified of children as I display as a below average parent. 8-year-old girls terrify me. They're not only mean, but they are smarter than me and can easily outwit me. The teams are very good in Dedham softball, so there's the added pressure of needing to win. I've been studying the craft of coaching, and last night I decided I'm going to withdraw all the money I have available and flee to Mexico. Is this an overreaction, or do you guys have any advice for me?
Just follow the coaching tips of Rick Pitino. We were talking about him earlier. It works. Just yell at the kids. No, he needs to get one of those parents, right? Because there's always that parent. I try to avoid them. I try not to be that parent.
Okay. And
I try.
You're not going to be friends with them.
I try to be that parent. But there's always one who is there in any sport. You're watching basketball, the parent says, hey, they should be running this play. You're watching football, why aren't they doing that? Why aren't they running crossers? Or why are they blitzing so much? So you got to find the know-it-all parent and ask that know-it-all parent to be on your coaching staff.
That's pretty good.
That's a good way to manage the parents.
Get the know-it-all.
Yeah.
The know-it-all will do all the talking if you're afraid of 8-year-old girls.
And then as head coach,
rightfully so.
You can pretend to be doing your job just by doing scheduling and
make sure they're all together.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Just kind of herding everything, but
let the know-it-all do it all.
Right.
Agreed. I think that's a good game
And you
plan.
can't tell me there's not one because every community has one.
Every
community has about
single
25
team
of them.
that my sons have ever been a part of has one parent, like soccer, that will walk up and down the sideline yelling instructions to his son, even though the coach is on the other side of the field yelling something different. Oh, it happens all the time.
Now we're getting a lot of falconry emails.
Okay.
Clarence says RFK Jr. is a diviner, I believe. Is that what's
a diviner?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, I thought of that as like divining rods, for looking for water. But maybe that is another name for someone who handles falcons.
A diviner.
We should look that up.
No idea.
See, I don't know.
And then Chris said, when I was in Ireland, north of Galway, you can do a tour and walk through the woods with hawks. Highly recommend doing it if in Ireland. Now, Do you have to be careful of your? And I know how much you love your dogs, Michael. Your trio of pugs.
Oh yeah.
You still have 3?
I do. We still have 3. Shockingly.
Okay. Now, but even living in Brookline, there are there's coyotes.
You hear
there's
them
hawks
all the time.
Do you have to be careful about letting the dogs out unattended, or are you purposely not very careful?
Just the one in the diaper,
funny.
right? That's the one you let outside.
All of them wear diapers.
Oh, that's right. They all do. So.
All of them. At times. They all wear diapers.
Huh.
Around like, stop sniffing around my rug. Stop it. Throw a diaper on that pug. And we do that too. We'll say, hey, who let the dog out? The dog doesn't have a diaper on. What are we doing? We know what's going to happen. Put a diaper on that pug. So, no, a couple of nights ago, this just happened last weekend. My son and his girlfriend, they're outside and like, hey, what's that noise? I said, oh, those are coyotes. They said, seriously? I said, yeah. Should we be afraid? No.
As a matter of fact, put the dogs out.
Don't worry about it. Hey, by the way, whose dog day is it? Well, just let them out there for a little bit. But they do. They like coyotes. I mean, they like pugs. But it's impressive. I've seen them a few times. They're fast. They're beautiful.
The coyotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really good looking
Well,
animals.
Every time I see one, I think it's a German Shepherd at first.
Right.
Yeah.
Just really a good, strong look. But they kind of hang around at night and they howl. They howl for like a good 3 or 4 minutes.
I don't know, if it was mating season or something. It was not long ago, but they're all in the back of the woods, and my dog thinks that she can scare them off. And look, if she goes out in the yard and barks, she's got, an impressive sounding bark. But it's funny because I've seen them a couple of times in the woods in the back of my house, and they'll run the other direction, and they'll run down toward the end of my street where Cosmo lives. Cosmo is a 150-pound Bernese mountain dog. And I'm thinking, wow, are you guys going the wrong way? If you think you're avoiding any trouble here, do not go to Cosmo's house.
150-pound dog.
That's an enormous dog.
Now, if Cosmo's mom heard me say that, she would say he is not 150 pounds. He's 132.
Okay.
He's a big fella.
After the first 100, I don't think it matters all that much.
Big boy.
Yeah.
Big boy. Impressive. Gentle, but if a coyote gets in his yard, he has a different demeanor. All right, we'll be back with the stack here to wrap things up this morning on Toucher and Hardy.
missed from the show. It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Yes, he's the guy who plays Jack Reacher in the. It's not called Jack Reacher; it's just Reacher. There have been 3 seasons of it so far.
Now the Jack Reacher movie with Tom Cruise was not well received because Jack Reacher is supposed to be this mythically large person.
Jack Reacher's about 6'4", 250 pounds.
Well, he's not anything because he's made up.
In the stories by Lee Child.
Why do you have to be so technical?
Well,
because he's hardy and he's a pain in the ass. That's why.
He's supposed to be a large figure, and people didn't like that Tom Cruise was cast in the movie role.
Correct.
But the TV show is doing a better job?
Yes.
All right. Well,
much better.
All right. There is video of him beating up one of his neighbors in Tennessee.
Oh.
There's a clip on TMZ, and you could see him apparently going toe-to-toe with this guy while 2 kids, who are reportedly the actor's children, watch what's going down while they're on their little motorbikes. The alleged victim, Ronnie Taylor, told TMZ this started Saturday when Alan was riding his green Kawasaki through the Nashville suburb, and the neighbor says that Alan, your Jack Reacher guy, was going too fast and revving his engine, disturbing the peace. So he flipped him off, and then Jack Reacher flipped him off, and then Sunday around noon, he gets out on his motorbikes again with his kids. The neighbor says, "Can you effing stop this, please?" And that's when Alan punched him, and they started fighting. And then the guy fell off his bike, and he tried to run away, and it's this whole thing. So the police were called. The neighbor accuses Jack Reacher of hitting him at least 4 times while he was on the ground, which left him with facial bruising cuts. He has photos. This appears to be a real thing, John.
This appears to be a big-ass lawsuit coming.
You said Jack Reacher. You said Jack Reacher.
Well, I don't know who this actor is. So
Probably
I'm
was a
gonna call Jack
character.
Reacher.
You're like, do you know who I am? I'm Jack Reacher.
No, this guy's been in a bunch of like smaller parts. Like he was in the last Fast and Furious movie is in a smaller role. He's done a bunch of small
Now,
things.
is this something that Jack Reacher himself would do, or is he more of a does he
more of a thoughtful,
more character?
No,
more
if
civilized.
If he's a large man, and if you stand up to him and give him attitude, the threat of violence is certainly possible.
But would he hit a man who's down on the ground?
No,
John?
he would not.
Well, the neighbor should have known.
After the man is
Don't mess with
down,
him.
after the man is down, Jack Reacher would have let him be.
That's only in a hockey fight.
Yeah.
Not in a street fight.
Yeah, I don't care
Street
for
fight.
this.
Are there rules in a street fight? Like he's down? Like I'm talking about just punching somebody.
You're asking me?
Well, we can. Now, John can speak eloquently.
Fight.
Sure. Go bring it over to Hardy, who's got all kinds of experience.
The last time you were in a fight, when you had him, you had that guy down. That guy was on the ground. Did you say, okay, that's enough?
Yes, because it was my son.
Okay.
That's a perfect way to end it right there.
Well,
What a line.
We don't even need to say anything else.
we all have like similarly aged sons,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Within
Yes.
a couple of years.
We do.
And at some point they want to try dad.
Sometimes
Yes.
you got to put him in a headlock. Sometimes you got to let him know.
Yeah, the wrestling is always fun.
Sometimes you gotta let 'em know.
That's true.
And I put him down.
Yeah.
And, he was kind of laughing. I think he was surprised at the ferocity of the takedown and how quickly it happened. And then guess what happens? Mom comes in the room.
Yeah.
What's going on in here? I said, the boy wanted to take a shot at the title. And he's obviously not ready.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day he will be, but not right now.
You think George Jefferson had to fight his kid? You think that ever happened? George could dance, but George could show them hands too.
What was the son's name? There were 2 different actors who played him. What was the son's name?
Was his son's name Lionel? Lionel. I remember him
think
saying
so.
Lionel.
Yeah, I'm confusing it with Lamont. That was.
I'm thinking the
Fred
same.
Sanford.
Yeah, that's right.
It was Lionel. Wasn't Lionel dating Jenny from upstairs? Lionel was their kid, but Jenny, Tom and Helen's
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Weren't they dating?
Helen, who in real life is the mother of.
Ooh.
Lenny Kravitz.
Very good.
Well done.
And we will explore that more on Wednesday when Michael
Yes, we
Holly
will.
joins us again.
And they got
here
a great game.
on Toucher
There's
and
a
Hardy.
great game on Wednesday coming. That's a 12 set.
Oh, yeah. The 8 o'clock game on Wednesday. I'm very much looking forward to. All right. John and I will be back tomorrow with Andrew Callahan.
Nice.
Filling in for Fred tomorrow here on Toucher and Hardy. Thank you. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and